on, folks, and thank you for tuning in with me to another edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me on this Wednesday edition. This is episode number 605 for all the folks that are keeping track. Episode number 605 for all the folks that are keeping track of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And before we get into anything else, I'd like to ask everybody who's listening to the sound of my voice to please spread this show link around like wildfire, all right? Let everybody you know across the internet and throughout the world, let them know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house, and we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Texas Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And I love being independent now. I'm telling you, I do. Anyway, type in your browser and add to your favorites, add to your bookmarks, ghost.report. All right, it's as simple as that. That's all you have to type into your browser, ghost.report. That is the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And always remember, if you're listening to the sound of my voice, you are listening to the Internet Political Underground without a doubt. All right, with that being said, let's just go ahead and ask everybody, since you're listening, to follow me on my only social media representation on the Internet, and that's on Gab, folks. If you have not had yourself or gotten yourself a Gab account, then I don't know what the hell you're doing, for Christ's sake. Gab is the last bastion of freedom of speech in social media today. So if I were you, I would go right now to Gab, get yourself a free account, and once you do so, follow me on there. Follow me on there under the name Politics Ghost, okay? All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow on Gab, folks. And it's my only social media representation on the internet. All right? Anywhere else, anybody trying to say that they're me on any other social media is fake and gay. All right? That's all I got to say about that. So once again, follow me on Gab, folks, Politics Ghost, so that you can get the 411 on whatever happens with ghosts. You know, sometimes I might be spontaneously hosting some kind of a video live event on Saturdays or something. Who knows? That's why you got to follow me on my social media, all right? And by the way, I want to say what's going on to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. What's going on, baby? I want to go ahead and give some shout-outs to the people that are already there, so let's go ahead and do so. What's going on to the God of Rage? What's going on, Tesla Cyberheart? What's going on, Stillwaters? Stagio in the house. Pepe the Frog. Mile High, what's up? Mike Hunt Squirts Catch... Shut up, you stupid idiot. That's a pet Mexican, you stupid fruity ass. We got the Meadowform in the house. What's going on? Meadowform, the newest member of the IC. We got Man Bear Pig, Kittykins, Jingo Bert, Hans Uberlander, Haggard Shekels, Funky Butt Lovin', Euros Toe Tapper Stall. What the hell does that mean? We got Blasphemous Bastard. We've got Australian Capitalist. We've got Andrew Smith, Those are the people that are tuning in with us very early in the broadcast on True Capitalist Radio. What's going on to you folks that are listening in? Okay, now that we got that all out of the way, I do want to remind everybody, if you do want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, you got to listen to me carefully, okay? You got to listen to me carefully. Go to my Gab account right now, all right? Go to my Gab, check out my Gab, and click the subscribe button for premium content, all right? Click the subscribe button for premium content, and once you do, go ahead and private message me on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name, and I'll give you a private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. It's that damn simple. What's going on to Distilling? How you doing? Anyway, folks, once again, come on down. We do and conduct all kinds of internet tomfoolery in the True Capitalist Radio chat room. Obviously, we're talking about crypto. We're talking about all kinds of political, international relations, social criticisms. Come on down. Check us out, for Christ's sake. And before I get started on the show, I do want to remind everybody that we do have merch. That's right. True Capitalist Radio does have some merch. Some merch relating to the broadcast, others that isn't really relating to the broadcast, folks. So if you want to go ahead and check out what kind of merchandise that we have, all I need you to do is type in your browser and then add to your favorites, add to your bookmarks the following: ghost.market. I'm not joking. That's all you got to type in your browser right now, ghost.market. And take a look at all the merch that's there, folks. We got all kinds of stuff. We got the newest Ghost.Report shirt that's got yours truly's face with Donald Trump's hair, baby, all right? Supporting POTUS all the way, baby. Making America great again. You're goddamn right. And not to mention, we also got some True Capitalist Radio merch. We've got Russian hacker merch for all y'all folks that want to troll the whole Russian hacker meme. We got Remove Kebab. We got a bunch of stuff, folks. So go ahead and check it out. Once again, the website, type it in your browser, ghost.market. Now that we got that all out of the way, I don't want to spend too much time on this subject matter to intro before we get into crypto and stocks. In the beginning of last broadcast, 604, I was discussing a little bit about Elon Musk and how he is probably trying to pull off one of the biggest scams in business history. Now, the reason I say this, folks, is because what has Tesla actually produced? It hasn't produced a goddamn thing. And let me tell you, I can't believe the amount of lunatics that actually think Elon Musk is like the next thing in scientific development. Like this guy's a major scientist that's on the cusp of taking us somewhere we've never been before. This guy is a fucking con artist, for Christ's sake, and I'm tired of looking at his doll hair ass. I'm tired of people putting him up on some goddamn pedestal when he has done nothing. The only thing that he has done, folks, is help create PayPal. You know, the little service, little pay service, PayPal? That's what he helped create. And if you want my opinion, Peter Thiel had a more to do with creating PayPal than goddamn Elon Musk. And not to mention, folks, Elon Musk, if you didn't listen to the beginning of yesterday's broadcast, let me give you a real quick synopsis. He is pulling one of the biggest scams, in my opinion, in business history. Now, folks, he hasn't produced a goddamn thing in his little stupid Tesla crap. And I can't believe that he is completely taking a piss on Nikola Tesla's name by using his name for his pissing ground company, for Christ's sake. Now, for you folks that are unaware, the only thing that this asshole has produced is some kind of Tesla Model 3, which in my opinion is the equivalent of the fucking Chevy Volt, and he's putting a bigger price ticket on it. People are buying it. Not to mention, folks, it's doing all kinds of haywire type of crap. It's supposed to have this, like, innovative feature in which you're supposed to have auto drive, right? It's crashing people into the fucking medians of highways. I mean, there's just all kinds of crap that it's just defective. It's garbage. Old Elon Musk fucking Tesla Model 3. And not to mention, folks, all Elon Musk has done is just talked up a bunch of potential research and development projects that he's about to create or in development of creating. He hasn't produced anything. Nothing. Except that fucking Model 3 car, which is the equivalent, like I said, of a Chevy Volt. Now that he realizes that he has brought his company public into the U.S. stock market, he's realizing that he is under tremendous scrutiny, not just from the general public, not just from the business media, but also from government regulators. And you see, he knows that he can't produce half, if not a quarter of the garbage that he claims that he's producing. So as a result, what is he trying to do? He is trying to take the company private. I mean, I'm not even kidding, folks. I mean, what he's planning on doing is trying to scam an investment group. And once again, they're talking about China. They're talking about Saudi Arabia. Whoever's thinking about investing in Tesla, stop. Don't do it. It's the biggest scam in business history. Because what Elon Musk is wanting to do, he wants to unload this scam on somebody else and have it somebody else's problem. That's why he wants to privatize Tesla. And as I told you in the last broadcast, when you, as a private entity, want to privatize a public company, you, as the private entity, have to offer the public company their all-time high stock price plus a premium so that all shareholders are okay with the actual privatized takeover. So there's no bag holders whatsoever. So that's how buyouts, that's how they work. So what Elon Musk is trying to conjure is getting a private entity to pay for Tesla at the highest price it's ever traded for, plus a premium on top of that. And once it's taken private, Elon Musk doesn't have to produce anything anymore because it's the private entity's problem, you know? It's no longer his problem. And guess who owns, I think he owns like 55 million shares of Tesla, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I think that's how much Elon Musk owns of Tesla shares, 50 million, 55 million. And just imagine how much he's going to pull off if he sells Tesla to a private entity and that private entity pays the all-time high for Tesla, including a premium. And guess what? Not only is Elon Musk going to make all that money because he goofed and conned a private entity into buying this crap, but he didn't produce anything. It will be the biggest scam of all goddamn time. All right? Excuse me, it's not 55 million shares. It's 33 million shares that Elon Musk owns of Tesla. My apologies. Thank you to Australian Capitalists in the True Capitalist Radio chat room. 33 million shares. And once this private entity takes over Tesla, he doesn't have to worry about producing all the garbage that he pumped out in the media that he claimed that he was going to make. He doesn't have to make it anymore. It's a private entity's problem. And that's why I'm telling everybody who's out there, if you know somebody who's connected, who is considering trying to take this damn Tesla company private, please forward them this show and tell them, don't fucking do it. Don't do it. And not to mention, folks, I don't know if Elon Musk is that brilliant of a moron because, you know, he should not have tweeted about his potential company going private. He should not have tweeted about it. That's against SEC regulations. It's against the law. And that's to protect investors, folks. I mean, you know, remember, this is not Elon Musk's company anymore. He has private stock shareholders that he has to answer to, and he has to oblige the regulatory bodies that protect these investors. SEC is one of them. Now, by him tweeting to the public that he's thinking about taking the company private is a complete red flag. I mean, he should go to jail at this point, because even if he doesn't find a private entity to take him public now, folks, because he tweeted that he's taking the company private, he caused a quick pump on Tesla. Now everyone right now is purchasing Tesla shares with the anticipation of a private takeover. So as a result, even if he doesn't get anybody to bite on this privatization of Tesla, he has indirectly boosted his shares by pumping the concept of a takeover, which is completely illegal in the financial regulatory rules. Now, luckily, we have the SEC now responding. It has sent a subpoena to Tesla in the probe over Elon Musk's tweets about going private. So this may culminate in some kind of a case, I hope, against Elon Musk and Tesla itself. Because, I mean, being that this guy, Elon Musk, is supposed to be some super genius, I don't know who or what told him to start tweeting about a potential privatization in a public arena like Twitter when it's against the law to do so. Remember, folks, if there was some talk with Tesla and a private entity to take the goddamn company private, then it should stay private. That information should not leave the room outside the people that are involved with the actual transaction. Because you see, folks, we regulate the market to this extent so that we don't have runs on stocks like what Elon Musk caused when he tweeted that the Tesla company was going to go private potentially. I mean, that's what it's going to cause. It's going to cause a run on the shares. So the SEC is sending a subpoena to Tesla in a probe over these tweets that Elon Musk tweeted. I am glad. I mean, this is a pump and dump type of an action, if you want my personal opinion. He should have kept whatever negotiations that are happening in the veil of the company within the veil of the company. And then once there was an actual deal, once there was an actual written and signed deal, that's when companies can come out and say, hey, we've got a written commitment for a complete buyout of the Tesla company by such and such entity. But he doesn't even have anyone at the table right now willing to purchase Tesla. He just thought that, hey, I'm just going to tweet out that, hey, I think I'm just going to take the company private. Let me tell you, I hope that he goes to jail for this. I'm not even kidding. I hope that Elon Musk goes to jail for this and for just completely scamming the American public out of tax dollars, with $5 billion going to Elon Musk so that he could create these ridiculous research and development schemes so that he could potentially get paid off if somebody decides to be stupid enough and buy out this idiot's company. I'm not even kidding. And by the way, folks, I mean, this is not the only thing. Not only has he gotten a subpoena, all right, not only has Elon Musk gotten a subpoena, folks, he's gotten people that are whistleblowing against his company. There's a guy by the name of Martin Tripp. He's a self-proclaimed whistleblower in Tesla, and I believe him, okay? Because they, and I'm talking about the company and Elon Musk, have been trying to bash this guy, Martin Tripp, as a so-called company saboteur, which I don't understand why he would be a saboteur. He has no reason to do so. I think it goes against his financial interest, etc. But the reason that Elon Musk and Tesla are trying to bash this guy is because I think that Mr. Martin Tripp, a whistleblower potentially for Tesla, has a lot of information. Now, if you folks aren't familiar, today Martin Tripp on his Twitter account released a list of VIN numbers, which is vehicle identification numbers, of Model 3 vehicles, which he claims were delivered with, quote, punctured battery cells inside their battery packs. Punctured battery cells in this new Model 3 jumping into the future, so-called great thing for the environment, garbage goddamn car. Now, his lawyers, and I'm talking about Mr. Martin Tripp, wrote about his claim in the filing. It says, after observing the punctured battery cell in the battery module from containment AR622, Mr. Tripp asked the process technicians and the associates what happened to the battery modules within containment AR622 and if they were scrapped. Mr. Tripp was told that instead of scrapping the battery modules, the technicians reworked, quote-unquote, the modules by squeezing in an adhesive into the punctured battery cells and then gluing a piece of clamshell over the adhesive. In doing so, counter-defendant made it appear as though there was no internal or external damage to the battery module. After being, quote, reworked with adhesive, the battery modules were then returned to the manufacturing line. Based upon information and belief, no quality inspections, quote-unquote, were performed on these, quote, reworked battery modules before they were returned to the manufacturing processing line. Mr. Tripp personally observed technicians perform this process on several different battery modules. And on top of Mr. Tripp throwing the VIN number of all the Model 3s that have this punctured battery pack, he also posted some pictures on what exactly he was discussing. these punctured battery packs and how they were, quote, reworked, etc. Now, Tesla, of course, has always denied Tripp's claims, including his claims about the punctured cells. But, of course, many different media entities have contacted Tesla after Tripp released those VIN numbers to see if anything more could be added. But, of course, they have refused to answer up to this point. So, once again, how many more, who's lookins are we going to give Elon Musk? How many more mulligans are we going to give Elon Musk? Seriously. I mean, can somebody give me that? I'd like to know. How many mulligans? How many mulligans here? I mean, this guy is literally just break after break. I mean, do you remember when this, the auto driving component of the fucking car started driving people into the goddamn the freaking concrete wall and freeways and shit, and they were saying, oh, well, no, it's not the car. Actually, it's the driver. And the reason we know this is because we monitor every single Tesla car from our networks. And we realized here that based upon the acceleration of the pedal and the pressure of the hands that were on the steering wheel and how this person was doing, I mean, literally, when we started seeing these goddamn crashes of Tesla cars into goddamn concrete walls and other cars because the autopilot obviously doesn't work, when we started seeing this, we started seeing Tesla bypass the NTSB, the National Transportation and Safety Board, which is the government entity that researches such events, such as plane crashes, and especially autopiloted crashes of cars. And before the NTSB could even put out any reports on some of these crashes that were crashing into embankments, crashing into concrete walls, crashing into other cars, Tesla put out their own assessment claiming that they know, based upon the data that they have compiled on monitoring each car that is on the street. Now, believe it or not, folks, I think that's rather creepy. I think it's creepy that Tesla has this type of information, this type of connection to every Tesla car. I mean, did you actually put your money and buy into this crap? That some idiot like Elon Musk can figure out every aspect of the car prior to a car accident to disprove that it had anything to do with his car and put the blame on you? Because that's what he did. That's what he's been doing. Every one of these goddamn Model 3s that have been crashing, that's what he's been doing. So once again, here it is. Here's Mr. Elon Musk, the great scientist, that the media tries to prop him up on. And that's why he went against the media, folks. All you white nationalists and you goddamn fucking alt-righters out here that were like, oh, man, Elon Musk, he's tweeting about the Jewish media, dude. Oh, man, he's woke. You want to know why he's talking about the media? Because they're not putting him on a pedestal anymore, and he's pissed off about it like some petulant autist. That's why he's tweeting about the media, because it was the media that created this dull-hair faggot. It was the media that created Elon Musk. That he was some big badass engineer, some badass scientist, this and that. It was the media. Because prior to this fruit bowl did nothing but create PayPal. And I'm glad all this misfortune is happening on Elon Musk. It couldn't happen to a better fraud. I'm telling you that right now. And look, if you know anyone who's related to the entities that are considering taking Tesla private, then forward them this goddamn show and tell them not to do it, that this privatization of Tesla is nothing more than the biggest business scam of all time, and it's going to generously reward the scam artist of them all, no more than Elon Musk. So anyway, that's all I want to say about that, folks. I mean, I don't mean to lead in with Elon Musk for the past two shows. I'm just tired of this guy. This fucking guy's not even an American, for Christ's sake, and he got $5 billion worth of U.S. tax money so he can play this little research and development game with his little pissy-ass fucking corporation. He's not even an American. He's fucking South African, fucking Canadian. He doesn't know who the fuck he is. Why are we putting this guy on a pedestal? Somebody answer me that question. This guy's a phony. He's a fake. He's a fraud. I'm tired of looking at his ugly ass. And are we going to allow him to do this? Are we going to allow him to scam himself into the fucking, 1, 2, 3 richest men in the world by taking this company private? I sure as fuck hope not, man. I sure as hell hope not. That guy's a piece of trash. And you could tell Elon Musk I said that. He's a piece of crap. Anybody who takes money from the government, I think is a piece of trash. I'm sorry. I'm not even joking around. I don't care if it's fucking people that are collecting welfare and food stamps and getting fat off that shit, or if it's corporations taking corporate fucking welfare. I fucking hate welfare. I don't give a shit who's got it. I don't give a shit who's getting it. I don't care if it's the Poe in America. I don't care if it's these corporations. They don't fucking need it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired. Elon Musk is a prime example of this shit. I'm tired of it. Everybody out there in America should be tired of it, for Christ's sake. Jesus Christ, but we're such starfuckers out here in fucking America. We're such starfuckers. Like, oh, but Elon Musk, he's a liberal guy, and he's a scientist, and he's kookster, and he's sending rockets into space, and it's so cool, and you shut the fuck up. Oh, God. Anyway, folks, I'm done with this. I'm done with Elon Musk. If you happen to see Elon Musk, please kick him in the balls. That's all I got to say, all right? Anyway, let's go ahead and talk some cryptocurrency. Now, I know that we saw some major contractions the last time we talked, and I know that there was a lot of people out there saying, well, hey, Ghost, what's going on, dude? There's a lot of money being lost out here. I want to know, is cryptocurrency a scam? Because, it's starting to sound like it's a scam. My little troll, little Puerto Rican fucking Dominican Republican friend told me last year that, cryptocurrency was a scam. But now that the prices are going down, I'm starting to think it might be a scam. Shut the fuck up! I told you all last show, didn't I tell you all last show, that if you have not gotten in on the cryptocurrency ride, that now is the time to invest? Didn't I tell you all that? I told you that. And I told you that the reason that we're seeing decreases in the cryptocurrency arena is because the dollar is king of fiat currency, baby. I mean, have you taken a look at the U.S. dollar index? Have you taken a look at a chart of that? We're at 52-week highs on the dollar, for Christ's sake, you morons. And not to mention, we're seeing all kinds of market capitalization and money going into the stock market as well, the U.S. stock market. And unless we forget that Donald Trump is throwing economic warfare on the world, too. So, some of these folks that may have cryptocurrencies in those countries that are being affected by Trump's economic warfare, they're probably selling off or trading any cryptocurrency they have left for just everyday living material, for Christ's sake. But with that being said, folks, I told each and every one of you so. All you jerk-offs that continue to doubt and continue to act like impatient and potent jerks, this just goes to show you that what we are seeing is nothing more than market fluctuation where the money is moving, you jag-offs. All right? The money right now is moving into the U.S. dollar, and it's moving into the goddamn stock market. All right? I mean, it's just basic economics. If we pair the U.S. dollar with cryptocurrency, and the U.S. dollar increases in value, well, then by default, cryptocurrency is going to go down in value, you jerk-offs. And every one of you that got scared and was like, oh my God, I don't know. I think it's just going to go out of business. I think it's going to be a scam. It's the Ponzi scheme, and I don't know what's going on. You people are fucking gutless faggots, all right? And that's why we're capitalists and you are nothing more than the fucking desperate, worry-filled faggot loser that you are. I'm tired of impatient pricks that think that they're supposed to throw in $1,000 into an investment and think within 6 months it's supposed to turn into 100 G's. Fucking morons. All right? I mean, learn something. If it's that easy, it wouldn't be capitalism, it'd be communism, you jerk dick. Tired of these goddamn trans-textical turd burglars out here that are out here. Oh, well, I just threw in $1,000 and I expected to make $100,000 within 6 months. And I got a guy in the inner circle, okay? And as a matter of fact, I'll talk about that later. We got some inner circle members. I'll talk about that later. I got a member in the inner circle, okay, who in April and May of 2017, when I started covering cryptocurrencies, started realizing that, hey, wait a minute, this is a legitimate opportunity. And this guy, believe me, he's a very critical, always ask questions, you know, always just thinking about stuff. I mean, this guy's just not going to throw money away for nothing. So when he saw me covering crypto and talking about the potential boom that we're going to have in this market, he put $10,000 that he had saved up in his savings. It was in his savings, $10,000. Now, when you have $10,000 and you invest when everything is low, hence May 2017, and keep it to when we saw our peak in January of 2018, this son of a bitch made $45,000. A little bit more than that, but around $45,000, $50,000. Why? Because he bought and he held. He bought and held. Buy low, sell high. And I told you idiots last Monday that this is the time, if you have not caught the goddamn wind of crypto, that now was the time to get in and start riding these waves. I told you last Monday. I told you all to start getting crypto, gathering it, and hoarding it. If you don't know anything else, if you don't know anything about pattern or swing trading, gather crypto and hoard it. Believe me, in the next couple of years, you're going to be majorly thanking me. As a matter of fact, I think it may be sooner than that. But just for the sake of being a bear investor, okay, in the couple of years, you'll be thanking me, okay? Now, when we were seeing the major contraction in crypto, cryptocurrency's market capitalization went as down as low as what? $191 billion market cap? $190 billion market cap, for Christ's sake? Well, let me explain what happened here, folks. We saw a major increase in the cryptocurrency markets. We saw a major increase. Why? Because I told you we were approaching, in this last contraction, all-time lows on most cryptocurrencies. All right, take a look at the last broadcast if you don't believe me. I said all this shit. I said we're approaching all-time lows, and there's no way that anybody is going to sell below all-time lows. They'd rather keep it on their fucking hard drive before they go sell it off and lose money, okay? And once we started approaching all those all-time lows, folks, that's when we started seeing this pump in positivity into the cryptocurrency markets. Now, right now, folks, as we speak, the entire market capitalization of the cryptocurrency market is $202 billion market cap. Now, we have come down because earlier today I saw it as high as about 205, 206, but the current market capitalization of the entire cryptocurrency market is $202 billion market capitalization. Now, let me go ahead and get to Bitcoin, folks. BTC is the symbol. Now, I want to point out something here, that even though we saw some major contractions in the altcoin market, we didn't really see it reflected as majorly. I mean, we did see a contraction in Bitcoin, but we didn't see it as majorly as we did in the other altcoins. And the reason is a lot of the altcoins are ERC20 tokens, Ethereum-based tokens. And as you can see, we're going to cover it here in a minute, that Ethereum has taken it on the teeth when it comes to value, and as well as most ERC20 tokens. Now, with that being said, in this past contraction, we didn't see Bitcoin go below $6,000, which we should have, because we remember, a lot of these coins we saw goddamn all-time lows. And that's why I was telling you, go back at 604. This is episode. You're listening right now to episode 605. Go to 604, and I told everybody, if you have not invested into crypto and you lost the opportunity back in fucking May and April of 2017, then now is your time to get in and profit. Accumulate, buy, and hold. That's all you got to do. You don't even have to fucking pattern or swing trade. Now, with that being said, that solidifies Bitcoin right now for a little bit more of a long-term stay in the cryptocurrency market that I anticipated. Because we should have seen Bitcoin go down at the rates that we saw the altcoin markets, and it didn't. So that's something to consider when factoring future plays. Just pointing that out there for you investors. Now, Bitcoin market capitalization right now is $108 billion market cap. The circulating supply is 17.2 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Bitcoin has gone up 1.43%. Current price for Bitcoin, $6,299.14 per Bitcoin. So once again, we're staying above that 6,000 range, which means that are we prepping? Are we prepping for a goddamn $15,000, $20,000 Bitcoin after September 31st? And why are we waiting for September 30th or 31st? Why are we waiting for that? We're waiting for that day, September 30th, actually. We're waiting for that day because the SEC is finally going to decide whether or not Bitcoin is going to have an ETF, an exchange-traded fund, on the stock market. And if we do that, folks, that's some serious business. That's some serious market capitalization going to the cryptocurrency markets, and that's just that much further into tapping into institutionalist investment money, where that's where the money's at, baby. I mean, like I said, we got a U.S. stock market that's like $30 trillion in market capitalization. I mean, right now, cryptocurrency is at $202 billion. Cumulative market capitalization. We have not even scratched the fucking surface. So that's why I keep telling everybody right now, now is the time. I know that, you saw some increases today in crypto. Now is the time to buy and hold, baby. Make this a part of your portfolio. Remember, this is not a stock market. These are currencies. That means that the intention of these instruments is to exchange goods and services. Now, a lot of these cryptos, like I've been saying many times in the past, they have integrated their cryptocurrency with a blockchain application that they've developed. And they've integrated the use of that crypto into that blockchain application, which pretty much makes the cryptocurrency viable and demanding if it's integrated to a popular decentralized app that's on the blockchain, etc. You guys get where I'm going with this. And not to mention, this never sleeps. The cryptocurrency market never sleeps. It's not like the stock market, it's over at a certain time. All right, hey, let's go to the bar. Let's go have a couple of drinks. The stock market's done. No. This is money. Money never sleeps. So 24 hours a day, these damn prices are fluctuating all over the place. That's why if you've got some decent capital and decent liquidity, I mean, you could make some pretty decent money pattern or swing trading this market. Now, there's a lot of risk, but the volatility is meant for major liquidity to be made in short and pattern trading. Now, let's continue on. Let's go to Ethereum, folks. ETH. Now, the reason I'm talking about Ethereum, we saw major dip in Ethereum. I mean, it was in the double digits in the contraction in the past couple of days. Double digit in the red. I'm talking percentage-wise. So let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum. ETH is the symbol. The current market capitalization for Ethereum is $28 billion market capitalization. The circulating supply is 101 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, we have Ethereum going up slightly, barely, 1.93%. Current price for Ethereum, check this out, folks. Current price, $282.86. Good God! I mean, that's pretty goddamn low for ETH, if I don't say so myself. Very low. Let's continue to Bitcoin Cash. All right, BCH is the symbol. I like these at these levels especially, folks. Go ahead and take a look at BCH. Very good level to get in at this point. All right, current market capitalization is $8.8 billion market cap. The circulating supply for BCH, Bitcoin Cash, is 17.2 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Bitcoin Cash has gone up 0.67%. Current price for Bitcoin Cash, $512.51 per Bitcoin Cash. Let's go ahead and get to Litecoin. Litecoin LTC, current market capitalization is $3.1 billion market cap. The circulating supply is 57 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Litecoin has gone up 0.46%. Current price for Litecoin, $54.56 per Litecoin. Let's get to Monero, folks. XMR is the symbol for Monero, XMR, and it likes to run. This is for you short and pattern trading players out there. $1.4 billion market capitalization for Monero. The current circulating supply is 16.3 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Monero has gone up 4.69%. Current price for Monero is $89.39 per Monero. Let's get to Ethereum Classic now, folks. Yesterday, we finally saw Ethereum Classic go on the mainnet of Coinbase. And because of that, we saw a dramatic increase during that. This was even during the contraction. So it's continued that streak. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Ethereum Classic right now, current market capitalization is $1.3 billion market capitalization. Circulating supply is 103 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Ethereum Classic has gone up 10.88% increase on the day. Current price for Ethereum Classic is $13 even. $13 even. Let's get to Dash, folks. DASH. Current market capitalization for Dash is $1.2 billion market cap. The current circulating supply is 8.2 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, we have seen Dash go up 8.45%. Current price for Dash, folks, $153.45. That is a low Dash price. I like it a lot. Let's go ahead and go to Zcash, folks. You know I like Zcash, especially at these prices. Zcash, ZEC is the symbol. Current market capitalization is $625 million market cap. The circulating supply is a nice and low 4.5 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Zcash has gone up 3.23%. Haven't you noticed? All green, baby. All right, current price for Zcash, $136.46 per Zcash. Now, let's go ahead and get to Quantum, because I had a lot of people talking a lot of mad crap about, well, Ghost, what's going on with Quantum, man? I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, what's happening to the market? Is the market crashing? Is it a Ponzi scheme? Hey, grow a pair of balls, you dick! All right, this is investing. All right, this is what grows fucking hair on your chest, hair on your nuts, for Christ's sake. You got to take the good with the bad, baby. You understand? We're in a very volatile market at this point. Instead of bitching and moaning about it, you should be doubling down on this son of a bitch. Folks, during the lowest point of the last contraction, Quantum went down to $3.60. Now, for you folks that were just there, like,
ghost, quantum, QTUM. It's $3.60. What are you going to do about it?
What you all should have done is gathered as much as you can at those fucking prices, for Christ's sake. Because lest we forget, folks, the real reason why quantum is my and the Inner Circle's major holding in crypto is because of the proof of stake. The more that you have accumulated, the more proof of stake payments that you're going to get deposited in your Quantum Core wallet. We've got some guys that are in the 900 and 1,000 Quantum Club, and they're getting stake payments every, 25 days. And I'm telling you, folks, these stake payments are a hell of a lot better than any financial instrument that is being put on the table by these big-time investment firms out in Wall Street. And that's just the proof of stake. On top of which, folks, we also have a bunch of QRC20 tokens, which we all know QTUM has its own token. It's QRC. There are a bunch of coins being mined based upon QRC20. We already talked about a few. BOTI, B-O-T, if you had Quantum back in January in your wallet, BOTI was just magically deposited in your Quantum Core wallet if you were staking Quantum. I mean, this is just easy money, just holding your cash in a wallet. And by the way, for you folks that are like, hey, Ghost, I can't leave my computer on all the time so I can stake my payments. I mean, a lot of electricity and... Let me tell you something right now, okay? What you need to do is look into something like a Raspberry Pi, or there are some people that are actually creating this. All right? There are actually people that are creating something called stake boxes. That's S-T-A-K-E, stake boxes, in which they basically put a Raspberry Pi and they do all the programming to where all you got to do is just upload the Quantum Core wallet to, or the updated Quantum Core wallet to the Raspberry Pi, put your Quantum in that Raspberry Pi, plug in the Raspberry Pi, put it on your goddamn Wi-Fi, and the shit's just staking right there. It's just staking right there. I mean, it's just pulling off a fraction, just a minute amount of power, and you're making money. There's always solutions for this, folks. So this is why the Inner Circle and myself are major quantum holders, and man, we got a bunch of it. We got a bunch of it during the time it was below $4. And let me tell you, I announced in the last broadcast that I would accept new Inner Circle memberships because, yeah, we had to purge a bunch of cartoon porn fetish freak autistic cases for 35 Quantum. Now, why did I do that? I mean, that was more than half off what Inner Circle members paid USD. Now, why did I say I'm willing to accept 35 Quantum to enter the Inner Circle? And that was more than half off of what people paid for USD. Why did I do that? Because I am so certain about Quantum that I'm willing to accept it as a means of exchanging goods and services, for Christ's sake. I know that at some point here, not only will I going to make that back, that over 50% I'm giving off back, but then some. And not to mention, it's adding to my stake payments. It's adding to all kinds of shit. So that's why I keep telling you folks, and not to mention, if you bought Quantum at $3 or even $4 right now, and you entered the Inner Circle, you're entering it at a steal, technically. All right, now once again, I'm not honoring that 35 Quantum to enter the Inner Circle for that long. It ends Baller Friday, all right? It ends Baller Friday, that's it. Now we've got 2 people who have entered the Inner Circle taking advantage of like, oh shit, 35 Quantum, that shit's cheap, man. Let me go ahead and do it. We've got 2 new Inner Circle members. I want to give props to them for entering. I don't want to say their names on the broadcast, but I want to say thank you all for joining. And once again, if you want to be a part of the Inner Circle, you have till this Baller Friday. And the only way you can get in is to send 35 Quantum, QTUM, all right, is the symbol, QTUM, 35 Quantum to my Quantum wallet. And, of course, you can go to the cryptocurrency wishing well. That's right, Ghost.report has a cryptocurrency wishing well. Go to the Quantum address, send 35 Quantum there, and let me know. Let me know on Gab. Let me know. Just let me know. Let me know you did it, and then I'll hook you up into the Inner Circle, man. Look, we talk serious business in the Inner Circle, and we want serious people. We don't want nobody that's just going to sit there and do nothing, that is going to remain stagnant. There's been people, folks, that we had to kick out of the Inner Circle that did nothing. They just sat there and jerked off. They sat there and thought it was some big jerk-off session instead of actually utilizing all the facts, the information. I mean, some of the analysis, crypto, stocks, commodities, etc. Instead of utilizing that knowledge to make themselves better, they stayed the same, if not went backwards, for Christ's sake. And we don't need those types of people in the Inner Circle, folks. What you should be focused on, if you want to join, is whatever you are right now in present modern day. You want to be better this time next year. You want to be a better person this time next year. You want to be a better person financially. You want to be a better person articulately. You want to be a better person mentally, emotionally. You want to be a better person. You don't want to be the same person. You want to be a better person, man. And look, even if that betterment, even if all you do is move at a very, very slow pace on making yourself better, it's still going forward instead of going backwards, which unfortunately we have come to know and love with, unfortunately, many folks that have not only joined the Inner Circle and have gotten kicked out by the rest of the Inner Circle, but also in the True Capitalist Radio chat room. I mean, people just don't want to better themselves. They're completely okay with being complacent and under the skirt of their mammy and playing this "I'm retarded" routine so that they don't have to justify any responsibility in their lives. So they can sit here and make an excuse for everything. And that's not what we want in the Inner Circle. All right, I don't mean to make this big diatribe about it, but I do want people to recognize that we don't want a bunch of idiots. We don't want any cartoon fetish pornographic morons. We don't want any autists. We want people that want to be better next year. And I guarantee you, everybody that's been in the Inner Circle, they're badasses, man. We got a guy, bought his own house, making 6 figures. I mean, give me a freaking break. We got. I mean, I don't want to brag. We got a lot of fucking people in the Inner Circle that are badasses, man. I'm proud of those guys, man. I mean, that's the point. Those guys' success, that's what makes me worthwhile. Those guys' success makes my life, at least in my opinion, worthwhile. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to Quantum. I didn't mean to go off on this goddamn whole diatribe here. QTUM is the symbol for Quantum. And like I said, baby, 35 Quantum until Baller Friday gets you into the Inner Circle. Right now, Quantum is at a contraction phase. I would be accumulating as much as I possibly can. The more Quantum you have, the more proof of stake payment you get. And it's just... On top of proof of stake payments, you're getting QRC20 tokens delivered in your goddamn wallet, man. You're getting money for holding Quantum. I mean, that's incentive enough on top of waiting for the value to go up. Current market capitalization for Quantum, QTUM, is 387 million in market capitalization. The circulating supply for QTUM is 88 million. 88 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Quantum has gone up 0.61%. As a matter of fact, folks, it's gone up over 80%. Over 80%. I think it's a little higher than that, but over 80% in the past 2 days. Now, why is everybody going on Quantum right now? Well, we have a new U.S. exchange called HBUS. HBUS is a new United States-based cryptocurrency exchange that is pairing quantum with whatever other cryptocurrency you want to exchange with. Because typically when you're in a cryptocurrency exchange, you typically have to have Bitcoin or in some cases Ethereum to be able to exchange those cryptocurrencies for another one. For instance, if you wanted to buy quantum, you would have to get Bitcoin so that you can get on an exchange and trade Bitcoin for quantum. You see what I'm saying? But HBUS, the new cryptocurrency exchange in America, it is now pairing quantum, QTUM, with other cryptocurrencies to exchange with. So that's why you're having a little bit of a run on quantum. And moreover, folks, I think that this is the beginning of the introduction into quantum into the United States markets. Because if you've got quantum right now, you can get yourself an account at HBUS and start trading. As a matter of fact, I think for a limited time here, and look, they're not paying me to say this. This is not an advertisement. I'm just trying to tell people this so they can get some free quantum. All right, so this is just me telling you based upon what I've heard here. HBUS is actually giving away 20 quantum for free for those that register and verify their identifications on HBUS for a limited time. So this is how deep HBUS is getting with quantum, and as I stated, this is the first introduction into the United States market into quantum. And HBUS is U.S. based. So I'm just telling you that right now, letting everybody know. Just letting everybody know. Anyway, let's continue going, folks. Let's go to 42 Coin, since I haven't discussed it too much, folks, because first and foremost, it's got low volume at this point in time, and secondly, I can't really explain, but you know, we're currently looking to get other exchanges, but that process is very, it's very expensive to say the least. Now, with that being said, folks, we still had 42 Coin stay at a very decent rate, considering that we had major contractions in the market in the past several days. Okay? Now, for you folks that are unaware, there is a very small group of investors that own 42 Coin. It is obviously the inner circle. There's a 42 Coin chat that is just been put up on Discord that we occasionally monitor. They know who we are. We know the owners of the creators of the coin, etc. And a lot of people in there are dedicated investors to 42 Coin. So that's why I always advise everybody, if you're trying to look for something that's going to keep, if not gain value in times of crisis, of contraction, 42 Coin is definitely something to consider. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at this. 42 Coin right now. Market capitalization, unfortunately, is at 700,000. Remember, we're coming off this contraction, baby. Circulating supply for 42 Coin is 42. Current market capitalization, or excuse me, the current in the past 24 hours, Jesus Christ. In the past 24 hours, 42 Coin has gone up 1.48%. Current price for 42 Coin is $17,000 per coin. $17,000 per coin. And let me tell you something, that is just the beginning, okay? That is just the beginning. Now that we've gotten a little bit of the crypto covered here, let's go ahead and go right into the stocks. Let's go right into the stocks, to say the least. Look, look at the True Capitalist Radio chat room, man. They're going out to that exchange trying to get some free quantum, baby. I don't blame them. Anyway, with that being said, before we get into the stocks, I want to remind everybody that we are now in the second hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. This is episode number 605. This is, August 15, 2018. And before we get started, if you're listening to the sound of my voice, please spread this show link around like wildfire, baby. Spread it around like wildfire, because this is purely organic. That's how anybody knows about this broadcast, is through somebody else. There ain't no advertising. There ain't no commercialization of this show. If you're listening to me, you're listening to the political underground of the internet. You're listening to the political underground. You're goddamn right. Woo! You're listening to the fucking underground, boy. And without any further ado, if you could please spread this show link around like wildfire. The website is as follows, and this is all you got to type into your browser: ghost.report. That is the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, ghost.report. Add that to your favorites, add that to your bookmarks, etc. You know how it is, folks. And one more again, what's going on to the True Capitalist Radio chat room? We got a lot more people in there now. And once again, folks, before I get to the chat room, if you want to be a part of the chat room, the first thing that you need to do is follow me on Gab right now, all right? Follow me on Gab. And if you don't know what Gab is, well, by God, I don't know what you've been doing, for Christ's sake, all right? You can get there by typing in your browser the following, okay? gab.ai. gab.ai. And once you get yourself a free account, and I don't understand why people aren't getting themselves free accounts, since we got fucking censorship all over the damn social media outlets, no matter which way you look. You need to get yourself a free account, and once you do, follow me under the name Politics Ghost, all right? All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow. And once you do all that, then, if you want to be a part of the chat room, click the subscribe button for premium content. All right? Click the subscribe button for premium content. And once you do all that, private message me on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name, and I'll be sure to give you an email link to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. It's that damn simple, all right? Now, before we get into anything else, in this day and age of censorship, in this day and age of people shutting people down, shutting people's social medias down, they're starting to go after people's websites if you happen to ruffle any kind of liberal or goddamn leftist feathers. So I want to give everybody a heads up. Instead of focusing on being the most popular on Facebook and on YouTube and on Twitter and on Instagram, why don't you create your own website? I'm not trying to say that you should stop using those venues to try to get people into your websites, but focus on your own website. Now, one thing that I have discovered, folks, I've discovered a web host where not only will they not censor you because they're in a country in which they have almost damn near no censorship unless you're doing something illegal, but at the same time, folks, this website provider that I'm about to post on my Gab right now, you can pay completely anonymously with Bitcoin cryptocurrency. I'm not even kidding around. Check this out right now. Go ahead and take a look at my Gab. Look at my Gab. Check out my Gab right now. This is the only way that we're going to be able to beat censorship, is to create web presence that no goddamn entity can take down, because the servers that house the data that's supposed to be so dangerous, that's supposed to be censored, okay? You can host them right there on those websites right there. Take a look at my Gab. It's the first post right now. Take a look at my Gab. If you got Bitcoin, then why not get yourself a fucking website right now? All you need is an email and Bitcoin. That's all you need. Email and Bitcoin. Create your own website. No censorship. You can host anonymously. I mean, good God. I mean, seriously, man. I'm just trying to help people here, all right? All right, take a look at my Gab. And hey, Australian Capitalist, it doesn't have the whole link in that one, so you might want to redo the link on the True Capitalist Radio post. And thank you, man. It's the wrong one. Anyway, folks, now that I've gotten all that out of the way, let's go ahead and go on to stocks, shall we, folks? Because I'm kind of falling behind, to say the least. Now, we did see a contraction in the stock market because of the economic uncertainty that's happening in Turkey, and Turkey's responding with their own tariffs or whatever the fuck they're responding with. Who cares? We're going to talk about it later. So this has kind of got the market a little bit antsy, to say the least. All right? It's really got everybody a little bit antsy. And that's why you saw a contraction in the market. Now, obviously, it was a lot worse in the middle of the day, and it got better as the days went on. Yeah, that's the right one, Australian. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at what Turkey and the uncertainty and other trade war countries have had effect on the markets here, right? Dow Jones Industrial, okay, is down today 137.51 points. A percentage decrease of 0.54% decrease. Closing out the Dow at 25,165.41 points for the Dow Jones Industrial, okay? We've got the S&P 500 also down 21.59 points, a percentage decrease of 0.76%. Closing out the S&P at 2,818.37 points for the S&P 500. We've got the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is also down 96.78 points, a percentage decrease of 1.23%. All right. Closing out the NASDAQ at 7,774.12 points for the NASDAQ Composite. Now that we've seen the negativity of Turkey and, the other, trade wars that were supposedly happening out here, it's not trade wars, folks. Donald Trump is unleashing economic warfare on our foes that we once thought were our allies. That's what's happening. But let's go ahead and take a look at energy. Remember, the U.S. dollar index is way up. We're 52-week high on the U.S. dollar. That's another contributing factor to the contraction in the stock market, for Christ's sake. All right? Anyway, let's go ahead and continue. Let's go ahead and look at energy commodities here. WTI sweet crude is down today, and that coincides with the increase of the dollar. It is down 27 cents, a percentage decrease of 0.42%, closing out WTI at $64.74 per barrel of WTI sweet crude. We've got Brent crude down today, 11 cents, a percentage decrease of 0.16%, closing out Brent crude at $70.65 per barrel of Brent crude. We've got gasoline down 0.45%. We've got natural gas down 0.31%. We've got heating oil down 0.22%. Let's go ahead and get to the metals, shall we? The metals! Let's get to the goddamn metals! Gold is down, and I'm loving these gold prices, baby. I'm going to be completely honest. I can't wait till gold goes under 1,000, because if it goes under 1,000, I'm hoping that we see black folks, all right, back to, wearing gold grills, wearing gold chains, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, because that's a sign of a decent economy, I would think, When black folks stop robbing and killing each other, and they're like, man, I'm flousing, baby. I'm flousing. Anyway, gold is down $9.90, a percentage decrease of 0.84%, closing out gold at $1,175.10 per troy ounce of gold. We've got silver down 7 cents, a percentage decrease of 0.51%, closing out silver at $14.38 per troy ounce of silver. Copper is up today, 0.49%. Platinum is down 0.98%. All right, 0.98%. So let's go ahead and get to the agriculture, folks. And we're looking pretty red all over the place. Why? The dollar is king. The dollar is at 52-week highs, and it's continuing to climb. Let's get to grains. Corn is down 0.27%. Wheat is down 0.05%. Oats is down 0.29%. Rough rice is down 0.05%. Soybeans are down 0.14%. Soybean oil is down 0.28%. And canola is down 0.02%. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the damn True Capitalist Radio chat room. They're posting funny memes and shit. Anyway, we got the softs. Let's get to the softs, shall we? Cocoa is down 0.47%. We've got coffee down 2.30% for coffee. We got sugar. Sugar is down 1.06%. Orange juice is down 0.35%. Cotton is down 2.77% decrease for cotton. Jesus Christ. We got lumber down 0.54%. Rubber is down 3.11%. Looks like nobody's using prophylactics right now. We got ethanol down 0.88%. Let's go ahead and get to livestock, shall we, boys? Livestock, let's get to live cattle. Live cattle is up 0.25%. Cattle feeder is up 0.25%. And lean hogs, folks, is up 1.21%. And that, my friends, is the markets for your ass, all right? Anyway, folks, we're going to get right into the nitty-gritty, but I want everybody out there who wants to participate, who has something to say about the show, or has some subject matter that I'm not bringing up, I want you all to know that you can give me a call right now. You can give me a call. The dial-in number is as follows. Now, get a pad and paper right now. Let me go ahead and wait. Go ahead and get your goddamn pad and paper, because this is how you're going to get in contact with yours truly on the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, okay? Now, you got your pad and paper ready? Good, all right? Write down the following, okay? Area code 605-472-5691. The number again, 605-472-5691. And once the operator starts talking, all you've got to do is push in the access code 464089 and then push the pound sign. Once again, put in the access code of the following 464089 and the pound key. And it's as simple as that, man. And you'll be on hold if you want to be called upon at any point here in the True Capitalist Radio chat room, okay? Now, with that being said, let's get right into the nitty-gritty here. Let me go ahead and take a sip of some cola. Tastes like garbage. And by the way, 43 days and 43 nights, no alcohol, baby, and it's been tough. I think it's been the toughest here in the past couple of days, because I definitely want a beer. You know, I definitely want a beer. I definitely want some shots. I definitely want, you know, I want this. I want it. Who doesn't? But I'm going to try to stick this out about 60 days, and then when 60 days happens, I'm back. We're gonna come back to alcohol. I can't help it. We got to. I'm sorry, but you know, you got to let a little bit of time away so that the insides can clean out. I'm feeling better, and then we'll be back. Give it 60 days. We'll be back, baby. All right. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about some stuff here. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the president. Now, I don't know if you folks have heard, but the president has revoked the former CIA director John Brennan's security clearance so that he can no longer have access to any kind of national security, secretive information, documents, etc. Now, this was literally like a couple of days after the president's attorney, Rudolph Giuliani, mentions on Hannity that Brennan quarterbacked both Strzok and Comey like puppets as it pertained to this whole Russian dossier and FISA warrant. Now, that was very interesting. I don't know if y'all heard that interview between Hannity and Rudolph Giuliani. I mean, he pretty much let off a bombshell there. Let off a bombshell, for Christ's sake. And the bombshell is that the ex-CIA director, John Brennan, is the actual mastermind behind all this stuff. Now, what did I tell you all about Peter Strzok? Y'all remember that episode when I exposed Peter Strzok, that he actually grew up in Iran, and then he moved from Iran after the Ayatollah took over and went into Saudi Arabia, and that's when he was tapped by the CIA, and he's both a CIA agent within the Federal Bureau of Investigations? Well, this makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Now that Rudolph Giuliani, the president's lawyer, has come out. He came out on Hannity on the 13th of August 13th, 2018. Giuliani was on Hannity, and he dropped the bomb that it was the former CIA director, John Brennan. The former CIA director, John Brennan, that was the mastermind behind all this. So that's very interesting. And then once again, 2 days after Giuliani outs CIA John Brennan as the mastermind behind not just the Russian dossier, but also the FISA warrant, the president revokes the clearance of John Brennan's security clearance to gather or get any kind of sensitive data from the United States government. And rightfully so. Now, of course, you've got CNN and the mainstream media calling this foul, although if we really take a look back at the history of one John Brennan and his tenure as the director of the CIA, you'll find that it was this guy's policy, if it all comes out, that it was John Brennan's policy to arm, train, and fund Al-Qaeda, which ended up becoming ISIS, okay? And as I've been stating in the past couple of shows, for the past couple administrations, starting with George W. Bush, going into Barack Obama, the assets, these mujahideen and these Muslim assets that we were the ones that created in the Russian-Afghan war of the late 70s, early 80s, well, these assets for the past several administrations were used against the United States. They were used against the United States to direct the United States into the war of civilizations. That's what 9/11/2001 was all about. It was to set off the war of civilizations, and take a look at where we're at post 9/11 at this point. Now that we have a new administration, and now that we have new people within the administration, we are now utilizing the jihadi assets that we have on an intelligence level that we've been controlling, you know, the Al-Qaeda, the ISIS fighters. We are now using them not against the American people. We are now going to assert these assets on our foes. And like I said, folks, you're starting to hear the Muslim problem with China. Remember, I said that was going to happen. I said China was going to miraculously have some kind of a Muslim problem. And guess what? The Uyghurs. I'm not even kidding. That's how you pronounce the Chinese Muslims. The Uyghurs have now become a major problem in the international stage for China. Now, I predicted this. I prognosticated this because this is very easy to read. I mean, truth be told, folks, if you take a look at Afghanistan, I haven't really been covering Afghanistan as of late because what's happening out there is we're in private negotiations with the Taliban. And because we've been out there for damn near 18 years in Afghanistan, we realize that whatever interim government that we put forth into power out there is completely corrupt and is completely against the people. I mean, and not to mention, folks, let's be honest, if we were to get up and leave Afghanistan, the Taliban would take over control and they'd be in charge anyway. So what is happening, if you want my opinion, is that the United States' new policy is to allow the Taliban to engage the Afghan government and to limit the amount of engagement by United States forces in the attacks that are happening, and if you take a look at Afghanistan attacks, there's been major attacks by the Taliban against the Afghan government, and the only thing that the United States has been doing has been given air cover once, the Afghan forces have been overwhelmed by the Taliban fighters. And you know how air footage, or how can I put it, air cover is. You know, they tell the enemy before they actually blow up the place. Remember, that's what they were doing when ISIS was all over the Middle East. Remember, Barack Obama would say, yeah, we bombed, oil fields. We bombed some oil trucks, and, we got them on the run and all this bullshit. When all they would do was send pamphlets, tell the Al-Qaeda and ISIS fighters that they're going to bomb and be away from any kind of trucks or oil-based kind of material, and they would leave. They would fucking leave. We all know it. There's YouTube video about it, if you don't fucking believe me. But what's happening in Afghanistan, if you want my opinion, is a transition from what we know of as the Afghan government to whatever the hell's going to culminate once the Taliban and the Afghan government engage each other, and whether the Taliban wins or they come to some sort of truce, whatever, that process needs to happen. And the United States at this point are allowing it to happen. Now, why are we doing business with the Taliban? Because, folks, aside from the Uyghurs in China, which are in mainland China, the United States wants to use Islam against China. Now, we all know that the Taliban is not native to Afghanistan. They're actually religious students from madrasas in Pakistan that came down to Afghanistan, committed jihad to implement a fucking 7th century or 12th century version of Islam, and they were successful. Now, lest we forget, folks, I talked about this on several shows, that China's neighbor to the north is none other than Pakistan. And Pakistan traditionally has been on the side of China historically during times of crisis. But now that you have China butting up with the Indians, that is pissing off the Pakistanis, and moreover, that is also pissing off the Afghans as well, the Talibans within Afghanistan. And what we are going to do is utilize our assets of Islamic Jihadis to inflict terrorist acts upon the northern border, the northeastern and northwestern borders of China. And this is going to happen here within the next 6 months unless China comes to its senses and renegotiates its trade deals and pipes itself fucking down talking all this war talk. But that's what's going to happen, folks. I mean, these Islamic assets we are using against the world at this point. That's why I said that miraculously China was going to have a goddamn Muslim problem, and they are. The Uyghurs. Now Canada has found itself with a Muslim problem, right? Saudi Arabia. I mean, you all heard Justin Trudeau. I talked about it on the last broadcast. Oh no, I'm all alone in the world stage, and I'm Justin Trudeau. Oh, United States, please, can you tell Saudi Arabia to leave me alone? Please, just leave me alone. I don't want Saudi Arabia to commit a terrorist act on Canada because I don't know what to do. Leave me alone. Yeah, you know what? Canada found itself with a check that its fucking maple leaf ass can't cash. Now, what's happening here, folks, and I'm going to be completely honest, Trump sent Saudi Arabia after Canada. And if you don't believe me after this time, then you're an idiot. Because there is no reason for the Saudi Arabians to act so belligerently just because Justin Trudeau's ambassador to Saudi Arabia criticized a couple of feminist activists within the Saudi Arabian borders. I mean, come on. Come on, why is Saudi Arabia blowing shit out of proportion? Because Trump is telling him to. Trump is telling him to. And by the way, I've said this, it's been a little bit longer than I anticipated, but we are damn near close to a trading deal with none other than Mexico. And you know who's going to be out of it? Fucking Canada's going to be out of it. Get out of here, you leaf, before we rake your ass. Before we deliver the day of the rake. The day of the rake will soon be upon the Canadians. The day of the rake. Fucking leafs. Anyway, the only way that this whole Saudi Arabian situation with Canada is going to rectify itself, because Saudi Arabia has already threatened. I don't mean to laugh because innocent people are probably going to die, but Saudi Arabia has already threatened, indirectly but still a pretty blatant threat, Canada, by its state-run media posting a picture of the Toronto skyline and then of what looks like an airplane about to crash into the city. And you know, Justin Trudeau doesn't know what to do. He's calling the United States, and you know what the United States is telling him? Figure it out on your own, pussy boy. He's calling the EU. The EU's like, look, we got a fucking enough problems. We don't need to deal with you, you stupid leaf. And then what does Trudeau? He comes out publicly and says, we're all alone. We're all alone on the world stage. I don't know why. I don't know why. You know why, Justin Trudeau. This is all that virtue signaling. That disingenuous liberal virtue signaling coming back to haunt your stupid fruity ass. I mean, you have to understand, Trudeau, you can only push that virtue signaling too much, especially now that you're a politician on the world stage. You're starting to realize that some of that virtue signaling mouthing off, it has consequences. And whatever happens to Canada, always remember this. Whatever happens to Canada, and I have predicted, and I am standing by this prediction, that Canada will have a 9/11 style terrorist attack within the Canadian borders, and you have nobody else to thank but Justin Trudeau for this. Because obviously he's the one that started, through virtue signaling, this whole squabble with Saudi Arabia. And not to mention, folks, I hate to keep reiterating this, but I like twisting the knife in you rakes, or in you leafs, excuse me. Justin Trudeau sold off all your gold reserves so that he can fund this makeshift immigration project that has brought in the enemy within your own border. Don't you understand this? Huh? I don't know how many Jehudis you Canadians have walking your streets, but you don't think that these Saudi Arabians have fucking sleeper cells in your country right now waiting to detonate themselves just to prove to you fucking Canucks that you idiots aren't going to be able to depend on United States all the time, and you got to solve shit yourselves? Oh, I can't wait. Anyway, look, I didn't mean to go off keister here. Obviously, I'm a little bit, I guess I'm a little bit anxious. I mean, I want it to happen. The day of the rake! The day of the rake will be bestowed upon the fucking Maple Leafs of the North. The day of the rake! Anyway, before I went on that soliloquy, folks, once again, the president revokes former CIA Director John Brennan's security clearance. This after the president's attorney, Rudolph Giuliani, mentions that Brennan quarterbacked Peter Strzok and James Comey like puppets pertaining to this whole Russia-Trump, Russian dossier, FISA warrant, all that shit. So we shall see what's up, huh? This is getting very, very interesting. And not to mention, we mentioned this last show, Peter Strzok, the guy that's behind the infamous texting with Lisa Page and, you know, the head of the FBI counterintelligence, the guy who was in charge of the Hillary Clinton email investigation, the guy who initiated and was in charge of the Russia-Trump investigation. This guy was fired by the FBI. What was it? A few days ago, right? I think he was fired about 3 or 4 days ago from the FBI. Thank God. I mean, this underscores the fact that Peter Strzok got fired from the FBI pretty much undermines this whole Robert Mueller special counsel, doesn't it? I mean, if I were the president, I would end, personally, the Robert Mueller investigation based upon the firing of Peter Strzok. Now, once again, I don't know if y'all heard, but today was the closing arguments to the Paul Manafort trial. And it seems to me that the government has yet to produce any kind of a case in the Paul Manafort trial. I mean, the judge was completely disgusted by the charges that were being brought up by the fucking prosecution team of Robert Mueller. Because the intention of Robert Mueller's little directive, the whole reason why he was put into a special counsel was to find a Russia-Trump connection. And the judge is not naive. That's why Robert Mueller had to file a complaint.
I'm going to file a complaint against you. You're not judging right. It's not fair.
It's not fair. You know, I find it ironic that Robert Mueller's special counsel is talking about fair and reporting or filing a complaint against a judge when they haven't done one thing that is by the law. They have abused the law. They have done whatever it takes to intimidate people with the law. And what they represent, folks, is corruption beyond corruption. I was watching an interview the other day of a mobster who was the son of the Francesi crime family. Michael Francesi, I think his name was. As a matter of fact, Michael Francesi was mentioned in Goodfellas in the scene where Henry Hill goes in and talks about, hey, we got Frankie No-Nos and we got Jimmy 2 times because he says everything 2 times. Like, I'm going to go get the papers. During that particular scene, he mentions Joey Francesi. Now, or excuse me, was it Joey or Mike? I don't know, one of those WAP names, who cares? Anyway, Francesi in this interview was asked, considering that he was involved in, you know, the mafia and the mob during the time of JFK's assassination, during the time of all these weird things that were happening in society and government, he asked the former mobster Francesi whether or not politics and politicians were more corrupt back then or are they more corrupt now. And you know what Francesi said? He said that political corruption is the worst he ever thought it could ever get. He says today's political system is by far the worst corrupt thing he has ever seen in his life, and he was a mobster for like 40 years. Okay? He was saying that, and this is a mobster, this is a guy who's been indicted 4 times, 2 state charges, 2 federal charges. I mean, this guy knows the law. And being a mobster, he said, look, we knew we were bad guys. You know, we knew that we were doing crime. So we looked at the FBI as somebody who was supposed to be doing things by the law so that they can catch us breaking the law. And you see, that's what separated us from them, was the fact that the FBI was using the law so that they could imprison us for breaking the law. And this Francesi said, but now you've got people that are supposed to be enforcing the law at the highest levels that are not just breaking the law, but that are acting above the law. And he said, when you have government officials acting above the law, that hurts everybody. This Francesi, this guy that's a mobster, he went on to say that he has actual FBI friends after all these years. After all these years, he said that he befriended one of these FBI agents that had him undercover for a few years, and he said he was actually a nice guy. And then when he realized he was an agent and he retired and shit, they kept in contact and whatever. As a matter of fact, this Francesi, he knows a lot of FBI agents, and he says that every agent that was out there investigating the mob, every agent that was a lifer and that retired is completely disgusted with what James Comey and Peter Strzok did. And that the FBI has lost its complete integrity. This is coming from a fucking mobster! Francesi! A fucking mobster, for Christ's sake! I mean, a mobster who grew up and was a mobster in the fucking 60s, 70s, who corrupted politicians and judges. This dude says that it is way more corruption in government now than he'd ever imagined. And that he's very scared. This is a mobster who's saying he's very scared for our country because no one's doing anything about it. That we, the people, if we allow this, if we stay silent of these law enforcement, the highest level of the Department of Justice and the FBI, if we allow these people to be above the law, then we jeopardize the very foundation of what our country is. And this comes from a mobster, man. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and gab out that Francesi interview after the broadcast, because that was actually a pretty good interview. But anyway, once again, it doesn't surprise me that John Brennan, who has now been revoked by the president of any kind of security clearance, is quarterbacking, according to Rudolph Giuliani, Strzok, and Comey. And, Giuliani's already said when all this comes out, people are going to be sick. People are going to be disgusted with what the hell these people did. And I can't wait till all the facts come out. I'll tell you that right damn now. Anyway, we had some primaries yesterday, and the primaries and the results yesterday prove that the president, I'm talking about Donald Trump, the president is the Republican Party. I mean, that's pretty much after last night's primaries. It is Trump's Republican Party, and thank God. I'm tired of this establishment GOP jerk-offs. I'm tired of them. It's time to get rid of them. It's time for new blood. It's time for capitalism and an emphasis on capitalism in the Republican Party. I mean, that should be the foundation of the Republican Party. Fuck all this other garbage. Capitalism. Because everybody on the other side, everybody on the Democrats wants socialism. I mean, haven't you seen that? Socialism, socialism, socialism? Huh? That's what we should be focusing on the Republican Party. Capitalism, pure capitalism. There's no negotiation. There's no going back on capitalism. But two states specifically I want to talk about. One is Wisconsin, in which the president put his whole entire backing on Scott Walker for governor, and believe it or not, Scott Walker easily won his primary for a third term. So once again, this just goes to show you that the president's endorsement means a lot politically, all right? You get a lot of political capital from the endorsement of President Trump. So Wisconsin was definitely a winner, and another winner in here, folks, was Minnesota. That's right, out there in Minnesota. Minnesota, folks, Jeff Johnson, who aligned himself with Trump, defeats two-term Governor Tim Pawlenty to be the GOP nominee for the governor of Minnesota. Can you believe that? Can you believe this crap? And if y'all don't remember Tim Pawlenty is this goofy little fruit bowl that came out a few months back and said, I believe that President Trump is unfit for office. And I'm an establishment Republican jerk-off, and I think that by me coming out and publicly saying that Donald Trump is publicly unfit for office, it's supposed to be building me clout amongst the middle-of-the-line voters out there. Well, it didn't. It didn't. It took you out of politics completely, Pawlenty. And it was so good to see Tim Pawlenty, after he realized he lost his bid to be a governor again of Minnesota, he came out and said, well, it seems as though the political landscape has changed and my style and who I am is just not wanted anymore. You're goddamn right it's not wanted anymore. We want fucking men that are going to be elected to the Republican Party that got balls, that got vision, that got ideas, that are capitalists, for Christ's sake. The foundation of all of the GOP candidates, of all GOP congressmen, of all GOP senators should be capitalism, hands fucking down. And as I've stated time and time again, capitalism is the essence of freedom. It's the essence of freedom. It gives you the opportunity to make your own decisions, your own choices. It doesn't bequeath the choices and your decisions to a fucking government, to some Politburo, to some government bureaucracy or some bureaucrat. That's what socialism and communism does. Even though these idiots that are all behind socialism and communism don't understand that, what these idiots need to understand is that the difference, and I hate to keep repeating this, but it bears repeating, folks, okay? The difference between capitalism and communism and socialism is this. Capitalism allows the individual to make their own choices, their own decisions, their own vision of their own lives. The government is completely out of your life. It's up to you to carve out your own destiny. Whether or not you want to be a success, whether or not you want to be a loser, whether or not you want to be Joe Schmo, it's up to you. That's what capitalism puts in your hands. Your life, your vision, your destiny. With communism and socialism, you have no choices. You have no decision making. Your job, you want to know what your job is? You don't know what your job is because the state tells you what your job is. What are you going to eat tonight? What are you going to go buy at the store? You don't know because the state tells you what you're going to buy at the fucking store. Are you going to have a house? Are you going to live in a shitty public housing project? You don't know because the state tells you what to do. And that's what I keep telling you folks. This is the point of emphasis that you got to put in these stupid young people's heads. All these young people that are protesting. All these young people that think that if they stand up and yell really loud, that they're going to get some kind of positive reaction. Man, in communism and socialism, if you go out and protest, if you stand up and talk loud, you'll either be in prison or fucking executed. That's a fact. There is no individualism in communism and socialism. Remember that. There is no individualism in communism and socialism. And that's why the Republican Party should be pure, unadulterated capitalists. That should be the focal point of all Republicans. Fuck all these other scholastic issues that mean shit. It's capitalism or death. Capitalism till the soul, till the bullet hole. So once again, yesterday's primary proves that an endorsement by the president builds you a tremendous amount of political capital, baby. You understand? It's the president's GOP, baby. And I told you when the president was elected, didn't I? Didn't I? That this was a capitalist revolution. That the capitalists have taken control of state power, and we are showing how we can rule and how easy it is to make a country productive again. Thank God we have a capitalist in the fucking White House. Thank God. Anyway, once again, Minnesota's Jeff Johnson, who aligned himself with Trump, defeats two-term governor Tim Pawlenty, who called the president unfit. He beat his ass in the primaries. Goodbye, Pawlenty. Go make snowmen or whatever the fuck you do out there in Minnesota. Stupid moron. Anyway, next subject matter. I have to talk about this again. I'm sorry. Well, before I get to that, one thing I want to talk about the primaries yesterday that kind of disturbed me. The Democrats out of Vermont, believe it or not, they nominated an ugly old tranny for governor of Vermont for the Democrats. Can you believe this? Huh? They nominated an ugly, disgusting, old drag queen. This isn't even a tranny, folks, okay? I mean, I'm tired of having to call people she when they obviously look like a disgusting man with a fucking wig on, okay? Look, if you want to be a transgender, that's fine. But you have to look like the other gender, okay? If you don't look like the other gender at all, I'm not going to acknowledge you as that other gender. Nor should anybody, because you're a fucking lazy tranny. I am not. I'm sorry. And I think that this should be a rule for trannies. I mean, if you are not passable, then no one should fucking pretend that you are. All right? I mean, we shouldn't pretend to be like, oh, her and she and, oh, my God, look at her. Bullshit! All right? If you don't look passable, then you're not a fucking tranny. You're a fucking cross-dresser. You're a transvestite. Jesus fucking Christ, I can't believe this crap. I mean, somebody just posted the Democratic's choice for governor out there in Vermont. I mean, look at this garbage. I mean, that is a horrible wig, first and foremost. And secondly, this looks nothing like a woman. This looks like some old man in a porn theater somewhere on their knees looking for takers right now. I'm not even joking! This is running for governor of Vermont? This is running for governor for Vermont, for Christ's sake? Folks, America, we cannot take this shit seriously anymore, all right? I have no problem that somebody that wants to be fucking male to female or whatever, that's fine, whatever. I don't give a shit, okay? As long as you pay your own bills and my tax dollars don't fucking pay to cut your prick off, I don't give a shit what you do. But I refuse, and I call on everybody in America to refuse, to acknowledge any of these trannies that look nothing like women and look nothing more than disgusting, ugly old men in fucking wigs and a dress. Don't even acknowledge these pieces of garbage as trannies. It's an insult, in my opinion, to these fucking trannies that are out here trying to look like women. I mean, folks, haven't you noticed looking like a badass woman is a lot of work? That not even women can do it? You know? I mean, come on! I mean, trying to look like a badass hot piece of ass is hard work. I'm not joking. Chicks can't even do it. If you don't believe me, why don't you go take a look at old footage of the Million Woman March for the past couple of years, and that'll show you how hard it is for women to make themselves up, doll themselves up, make themselves look like a hot piece of ass. Okay, so that's a lot of work for women. I mean, you don't think it's going to be even more work for a fucking man that's going to try to go and become a woman, for Christ's sake? I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of this whole fucking tranny crap. I'm tired of it. I'm tired. I'm tired of the LGBTQ shit. I'm tired of them sexualizing children. I'm tired of acknowledging fucking old, fat, ugly men with wigs and calling them she. I'm tired of it. I'm tired. And you know, you fucking trannies and you LGBTQ people, you aren't making yourself any friends either. Did y'all hear Jack Phillips, the poor bastard, the guy who owned a bakery who refused to make a same-sex fucking couple cake and was finally vindicated by the Supreme Court a few months back? Y'all remember that? The Supreme Court ruled that, hey, look, you don't have to make a goddamn cake for the tranny because, you know, the state of Colorado superseded your religious rights. So in this case, you don't have to make these queers a goddamn cake. Case closed, right? Y'all remember the baker, Jack Phillips, the guy who refused to bake a cake for these fruit bowls. He was vindicated by the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court ruled in his favor. Well, folks, poor Jack Phillips is now being taken back to court. That's right, the baker who refused to make a same-sex couple cake now had an attorney. I wonder this. I fucking hate attorneys. If you're a fucking attorney, I hope you die of cancer of the cock, you fucking pieces of garbage. I'm not even joking. But according to reports, an attorney went into Jack Phillips's bakery shop and he requested that Jack Phillips make a cake that was pink on the inside and blue on the outside, representing a male to female transition. This was an attorney that came in to this poor bastard's bake shop to request this. And of course, Mr. Jack Phillips said, look, I can't do that, all right? I can't do that. That's against my religion. It was a trap, folks. It was a trap. No pun intended. But once again, can you believe this? I mean, how long was Jack Phillips in court with these fruit bowls that sued him because he refused to make a cake for the little fruit bowl wedding? I mean, I think he was in court for at least 8 years or some shit. 7 to 8 years, probably more than that. I mean, now he's taken back to court by, quote, an attorney who decided to just go into his bake shop and request a cake that was pink on the inside and blue on the outside to represent a male-to-female transition. And because he denied it, poor Jack Phillips is going to go back to court and do this whole garbage all over again. And I'm telling you something right now, okay? You LGBTQ folks are turning every person with any kind of a common sense against you, all right? Because what kind of crap is this? It seems to me now that you fruit bowls and you LGBTQers are just going out to agitate for the sake of agitating. Ruining people's lives, ruining people's livelihoods, ruining people's businesses for the sake of doing it. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't care. I want to be honest. I don't care what people do in the privacy of their homes, in the privacy of some club. I mean, if they're in a private surrounding, in which everybody's okay with being a, whatever, muff diver or a flesh flute player or taking meat in the can, then I have no problem. You're a capitalist. I don't give a shit what you do, man. I don't care what you do. But when you create sexuality and create a group think mentality around sexuality, and then use that group think to oppress regular people, that's enough. I'm not even joking around. That's enough. LGBTQ, that's enough. If you identify as the group LGBTQ, I think that you are running out of people that really give a shit about your existence at this point. And if you don't think so, keep this up, LGBTQ. Keep this fucking shit up and see how long regular, everyday American people, even gay conservatives, are going to put up with this shit. Folks, I gabbed out the other day a YouTube video because, folks, lest we forget, everybody's being banned off YouTube if you happen to, ruin or question the political status quo of YouTube. Anybody who's political is being banned, okay? But then I find this fucking fruit bowl. Actually, I didn't find it. I was sent it. This fruit bowl on YouTube by the name of Gaylord? Gaylord, okay? Who has a video on YouTube that is not age restricted, in which he is judging whether or not the actual semen of men that are vegan tastes different than semen of men that are meat eaters. I am not kidding, folks. If you don't believe me, I strongly advise you to take a look at my Gab account. Scroll down a little bit, and I gabbed out that video because I can't believe that we have YouTube being the morality police of speech, and they allow this freaky little poshole to get on a video and take semen in a shot glass and shoot it like it's a fucking shot of whiskey and judge whether or not the semen of vegans tastes different than those who eat meat. Huh? And this is not age restricted whatsoever, folks. And yet you have YouTube banning people who are trying to just express their political ideology. You have YouTube and all these social media banning people based upon what? Based upon what? Challenging the political status quo? I'm telling you right now, the LGBTQ is turning everybody of any kind of common sense against them. And look, you can't blame people for not liking you anymore, LGBTQ, because everywhere we look, we see you sexualizing society, sexualizing communities, sexualizing children. What is it with you and you LGBTQ people wanting to sexualize children? I mean, all you got to do is YouTube search drag queen children and take a look at how many school districts are allowing ugly-ass, demon-headed drag queens to read to your children while you leave them in public education. I mean, did we ask for this? I'm telling you this right now, you LGBTQ folks, if y'all continue this, you cannot cry wolf when people start calling for your hide. And the reason that they're going to start calling for your hide is because each and every time that some prevalent homosexual, out and open homosexual is interviewed, and is interviewed in a kind of nonchalant setting, what do? They always throw the fact that they were molested. Like, remember Milo Yiannopoulos? Remember we thought that he was a right-winger and we were kind of cool with him. We're like, well, you know, he might bring gays to the Trump side and maybe gays will vote for Trump because of this fruit bowl Milo Yiannopoulos. During his interview with Joe Rogan, he admitted that he was sexually molested by a priest as a teen. And in his warped, demented, pause-hole gay mind, he said it was okay in the interview and tried to justify that older gay men should help younger gay men in their experience in their sexuality. He was trying to justify that it was okay for older gay men to take prepubescent or adolescent boys and sexualize them to, quote, identify with their sexuality. Y'all remember that fucking interview? It's what brought down Milo Yiannopoulos. George Takei said the same damn thing. I mean, truth be told, folks, we could probably have this same story with most homosexuals. And look, I don't care what you do. Look, I mean, man, you have a good night of partying, right? You have a good night of partying and, you know, you got a chick, there's a tranny, they're both hot, you're fucking drunk. I mean, nobody cares. But when you start identifying as LGBTQ as some kind of political movement, what's the political movement? What are you gays continuing to bitch and moan about? You can suck each other's cocks in the street. I mean, have you all ever been to a gay pride parade? That's what they're doing on every goddamn corner. They're out there naked. They're sucking each other's cocks. They're doing this in front of children, and they're calling it, oh, pride, baby, pride. If you don't believe me, go ahead and Google this shit yourself, man. I think that you people need to get acquainted with what the hell is going on in the gay community. They are trying to sexualize your children. They've already got not just equality. Gays don't have equality. They've got a protected class. A protected class. Meaning if some gay came up to me and pissed me off and I gave him a slap and called him a faggot, I could go to jail for a hate crime. You know that? I mean, even if the gay started problems with you and you gave him a slap and said, shut up, faggot, that's a hate crime. That's a goddamn hate crime. So that's a protected class, folks. That's a protected status. And even amidst the LGBTQ's protected status, they want to continue to sexualize your children. They want to continue to make your children penetrate. Because look, can't we all be adults and realize that LGBTQ means that you like to take it up the ass, suck a cock, or dive on muffs? That's what it is. I know it's shocking. I know it's like, oh, ghost, oh. That's what the fuck it is. All right? And when you hear young children claim to be gay, then the first thought that comes to my mind is, who molested you? Who molested you? How do you know that you like to be penetrated in your anus? Because that's what gay means, folks, okay? That's what gay means. If you have fucking 9-year-old gays, it means that somebody penetrated them, and that is molestation, that is child pedophilia, and it's got to stop. It's got to stop. Anyway, we are now in the third and final hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. Before we get started on anything else, I'd like to remind everybody to please spread this show link around like wildfire. And let everybody you know across the internet and throughout the world, let them all know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house. And once again, we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Texas Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And let me tell you, I love being independent because there's nothing these sons of bitches can do to me. All right? This is my broadcast. If you don't like it, suck it. All right? If you don't fucking like it, go fuck yourself. You goddamn piggish power bottom, anal secretion having, trans testicle turd burglar fruit bowl. Once again, ghost.report is the official website. Do you understand that? Huh? Type it in your browser, add it to your bookmarks, add it to your favorites. Ghost.report is the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And let me remind you, folks, we got every one of these shows in the archive over there. And not to mention, we always stream a 24-hour stream when we're not live on the broadcast of the previous show that was conducted. So there's many ways for you to check out and listen to the broadcast, all right? And by the way, I want to say what's going on to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. I forgot to give a shout-out to these guys, man. I forgot to give a shout-out to these sons of bitches. What's going on to the True Capitalist Radio chat room? Let's go ahead and give some shout-outs right now. What's going on to Andrew Smith, Aquilian? What's going on to Australian Capitalist? Billy Cossack in the house, baby. We got Birds of Prey. We got Blasphemous Bastard. We got Boat in the house. What's going on a Boat? We got Euro's Toe Tapper Stall. Jesus Christ. We got Funky Butt Lovin'. We got Haggard Shekels. We got Hans Ubelanda. We've got Hawk Late Milk. We've got Herb Master, Holden Capitalist, Hoodie, JD, Jingo Bert. We've got Kittykins. We've got Man Bear Pig. We got Mile High in the house. Pepe the Frog. Sparked in the place. Stagio. Stillwater. TCR Mercenary. The God of Rage. And Tesla Cyberheart. And by the way, Tesla, I got your payment for the IC slot. And once again, folks, well, I'll talk about that later. But I got your IC 35 quantum payment, baby. I'll make sure to give you a link right after the broadcast. Don't worry about it. Tesla Cyberheart. Cheers, baby. And by the way, if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, all right, it's very easy. All you got to do is just listen to me very carefully, okay? The first thing you need to do is go to my Gab account right now. Politics Ghost. All right, all one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow. And once you do so, once you're there, okay, click on the subscribe button for premium content, all right? Click on the subscribe button for premium content, and once you do, private message me on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name, and I'll give you a private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. It's that damn simple, all right? And by the way, once again, I want to promote everybody. Take a look at my Gab right now. See the first post? Create your own website in a country that will not censor your content. Moreover, get an internet host that will sign up with you anonymously. You could sign up anonymously, man. I mean, how are they going to touch you? Take a look at my Gab right now, the first post. Click that link, the first post, and host a website without the threat of censorship and completely anonymous. All you need is cryptocurrency and a goddamn email address. Cryptocurrency and an email address, and you got yourself a website. And not to mention, folks, in their control panel, if you sign up with the first post here, in their control panel, they've got one-click software installation. So, like, if you want to create a WordPress site, you don't know how to install WordPress, one-click WordPress. One-click Joomla. There are so many one-click software availabilities on this thing. It makes it very easy. I'm telling you, create your own website. Don't let these goddamn social media oligarchs silence you, man. Don't be like some of these social media guys that were real big and popular that are now getting silenced. They didn't emphasize their websites. They should have. Now they know they should have. So anyway, go ahead and take a look at that. Now that we've gotten all that out of the way, let's continue on with the broadcast. We were discussing how Jack Thayer, who refused to make the same-sex couple cake, who was vindicated by the Supreme Court several months back, now back in court after refusing a gender transitioning cake. Yeah. An attorney, of course it's a blood-sucking attorney, went into Jack Phillips's bakery shop, and requested to create a cake that was pink on the inside, blue on the outside, and supposedly it was representing a male-to-female transition. And, of course, Jack Phillips said, look, I don't want to, this is against my religion, I'm not going to do it, and now he's back in court. And like I said, the last case that went to the Supreme Court that vindicated him not making the goddamn cake for the gay couple, what was that, 7 or 8 years in litigation? Does that mean that he's going to have to take another 7 or 8 years of litigation to fight off this attorney because of, quote, not refusing a transition cake? Give me a freaking break. And once again, I have said this and I'm going to continue to say it. LGBTQ is turning everybody against them. Anybody with any kind of common sense, they're turning against LGBTQ. Why? Because they're not only a protected class, they're trying to sexualize our children. And I don't care if they call me a hate person or what. I don't hate anybody. Except for communists. I think communists should die. And socialists. I think socialists should die too. But, look, I don't think anybody should be killed because, what they do in the privacy of their own fucking bedroom. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what LGBTQ's trying to do. They're trying to sexualize everything. And we've got to put a stop to it. Anyway, how do we put a stop to it? Well, folks, we've got to stop trusting Democrats. And I want to be honest with you, we need to have another view on minorities. Now, let me explain this. And I hate to bring up the Omarosa situation again, but it bears repeating. Omarosa underscores why America at this point is turning racist, okay? Now, the reason I'm saying this is because Omarosa was given an opportunity that would not have been given to almost anyone else. But because she had close proximity to Donald Trump, and because Donald Trump saw her in action as kind of a pit bull, and as a lot of qualities, you're a pit bull, you're not scared, you're somewhat intelligent, you're black, you're a woman, why not give her an opportunity? Now, instead of taking this opportunity and using it to make her, quote, black people better, or using it to make the black community more gainfully employed or economically driven or anything, no. she decided, and the proof is in all the recordings that Omarosa is putting out, which are big nothing burgers, mind you. But all these goddamn recordings, okay, that Omarosa is putting out proves that she was going in with the intention of being a devious, unloyal piece of low-grade trash. Now, all I'm asking is this, and don't call me racist, okay? Because I'm not. All I'm asking is, what use is it giving opportunities to minorities, even if you're, guilt-tripped into doing it, when they're going to pull off garbage like this? I mean, and the reason I'm saying this, folks, this is a grand opportunity that Omarosa had. She was right next to the president. She was working in the fucking White House. And instead of just knowing her role and shutting her fucking black hole, she decided, I'm a boss-ass bitch. Bitch, I'm a boss-ass bitch. Like most of these black women. And decided to play Miss Two-Face. Decided to record people in the White House unbeknownst to them, which is illegal, by the way. And I hope that Omarosa goes to fucking jail, because that is beyond illegal. I mean, recording people in the White House? I mean, give me a break. Why would she do that? Why would you do that? I mean, folks, I'm not trying to be racist here, but you black folks in modern-day America, and I blame Obama, I blame the Democrats, you folks are not making a very good case for yourselves, okay? And a group is defined by its majority. And when you have in America, when you've got the lowest unemployment in black history, you got the lowest unemployment in Mexican history in the United States, and you're still bitching and moaning about my racism and about whatever the fuck else you're being complaining about, then where are we going? All right? Where are we going from here? Are black folks just going to be perpetual bitchers? Are you just going to continue to piss and moan about my racism? How come whatever is afflicted to your demographic, and look, I sincerely mean this. How come what is afflicted to the black community isn't afflicted to any other minority group in America? Huh? How come it's only black folks that for whatever reason can't get themselves out of a current stigma or a current cliche? I mean, seriously, why is it? How come this isn't afflicted with the Asian community? The Asian community, if you want my opinion, I think they're made fun of more than the black community. I mean, they're given less respect than the black community. I mean, when was the last time you actually fucking met somebody who is Oriental, or Asian, Oriental is, of course, not a race, it's a fucking furnishing or something. But when was the last time you met somebody who was Asian that was like a cool guy? That was like the most popular guy in school, or, somebody who had bitches on their jock and he was beating them off with nunchucks. When was the last time you saw that? You've probably never seen it. And if you did, you must live in fucking Seattle or fucking California coast or something when you got a whole concentrated group of Asians. But you don't. You don't. And even with that, even with the social idiosyncrasies that Asians have, even with the racism, because there's a lot of racism when it comes to Asians. I mean, everybody's I mean, everybody's racist against Asians. Okay? How come you don't see Asian ghettos like you see black ghettos? How come? Let's take it. Okay, let's just say Tyrone comes along, right? Tyrone comes along and he's like, man, the motherfucker Asians are fucking smart, nigga. You know what I'm saying? How the fuck you gonna be sitting here trying to compare us to Asians, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. You black, man. You go to the black ghetto, man. We out there in the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? We got motherfuckers serving on every corner. You know what I'm saying? We got drive-bys and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers be pulling out their straps, splitting the wigs to the back of their ass crack. You know what I'm saying? Okay, great. Okay, fine. Let's choose another race. What about the Indians? Huh? What about the Indians? The Indians, the Pajeets, what are you doing? I am here. I am from India. Are you doing? I am here. I am going to sit here and I am going to run a 7-Eleven. How come, I'm sorry if that was a little loud for you, but, you wake up. But how come we don't see this type of Indian ghetto mentality out of the Indians? You know, I'm just saying, man. I mean, you black folks, especially after this Omarosa stuff, y'all are turning people racist, man. I'm not even kidding. And I'm not even joking about this, man. I have black friends that I've had for fucking 30 plus years. All right? Black friends that are fucking genuinely friends of mine. I'm not talking about acquaintances. These people have invited me to their fucking homes. They've invited me to their family reunions. I felt honored in doing that. And you know what? These people are a minority amongst black folk. Because these folks, the reason I'm good friends with them is because they're workers. They work hard. They're business owners. They're individuals. They believe in the American dream. They believe that with capitalism they can push themselves further. In America they can do what they want to do. They don't believe in racism. But I'm telling you, you goddamn black folks are turning America racist against you, man. And instead of bitching and moaning about racism, how about turning around your race? How about not embracing gangster rap as a component of your culture? How about instead of calling brothers Uncle Toms that are getting a master's degrees, how about congratulating those brothers because they're going to be a part of fucking society, of society that runs shit, of institutions that run shit. No, man, you get these blacks, and a black tells them, hey, man, I got my motherfucking masters, man.
Oh, yeah, so what, nigga? So what? You got a motherfucking masters, nigga? What, you think you my master now, nigga? Shut your ass up before I go in there and give you a slap like you was my bitch, nigga.
Seriously, this is what you get. This is what you get. And I've never heard of something more ignorant than pulling people backwards into pits of ignorance and chastising somebody that's trying to move ahead. I've never heard, only in black community, that I think they do it in other communities like the Mexican community, but I don't know, at least Mexicans work, all right? Mexicans at least work their asses off, even if they are not the most sharpest knife in the drawer, all right? They work. Black folks, man, whenever another black folk is trying to move ahead, they like, man, you
an Uncle Tom ass nigga, you know what I'm saying? Motherfucker out here trying to get his motherfucking, a master's degree, nigga. You think you my master now, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker like you an Uncle Tom ass nigga, you know what I'm saying? You need to be out here in the hood, nigga, gee. Out of here serving dope, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Putting hoes on the strobe, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Splitting niggas' wigs in half, nigga. Gonna try to set trip out here on the street, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Don't come up here and try to tell me you got your motherfucking masters, nigga. Fuck you and your masters, you Uncle Tom ass motherfucker.
This is what you get. This is what you get. Anyway, let me move on. I'm taking too much time here. Speaking of blacks, let's continue on with blacks, but let's spin it into Democrats that are blacks. Now, did you all hear that proving Democrats are lying hypocrites, the deputy chairman of the DNC, Keith Ellison, was recently accused of emotionally and physically abusing his ex-girlfriend. Now, if you all aren't aware, Keith Ellison, not only is he the deputy chairman of the DNC, which is the second in command of the Democratic National Committee, but he also is currently running for Attorney General in Minnesota. Now, yesterday was his primary, and believe it or not, even amidst this allegation of Keith Ellison abusing his ex-girlfriend, the Democrats in Minnesota still elected him and nominated him as the Attorney General candidate for the Democratic Party. Now, why do I bring this guy up? Because I'm telling you, you blacks are making people racist. Now, why do I bring up Keith Ellison and racism? Because Keith Ellison is the first Muslim to be elected to Congress. And we're surprised that he's abusing his girlfriend like a goat who refuses to give it up, for Christ's sake. I mean, give me a break. He's a fucking Muslim. Give me a break. And we're surprised that he's out here, beating the shit out of his goddamn girlfriend like an old yak. Give me a break. Once again, first Muslim to be elected to Congress, okay? And not to mention, I would also like to ask this, since Keith Ellison is the first Muslim and he's the deputy chairman of the DNC, how can you be Muslim and, quote, pro-gay? Can somebody explain that one to me? Huh? I mean, how can Keith Ellison be the first Muslim in Congress who's now running for Attorney General of Minnesota? How can he be the deputy chairman of the DNC and be pro-gay? I mean, you understand that if you're a Muslim, it is against your religion to even acknowledge these people. I mean, that's just one aspect of Keith Ellison, who is the deputy chairman, the second in command of the DNC. It just goes to show you the hypocrisy of these people. And not to mention, I'm not too sure whether Keith Ellison is a traditional Muslim, like in the sense that, I don't know, he goes to Mecca and, he's out there at Mecca looking for, I don't know, looking for the prayer call and shit. It's like, looking for the prayer call like... if he's going out to Mecca and looking for the goddamn Mecca call, or he's out there, I don't know what he's doing. Or if he's a black Muslim. Is he a black Muslim? Because if he's a black Muslim, that puts a whole new spin on everything. Because if Keith Ellison is a black Muslim, folks, the woman accusing him of being physically and emotionally abusive to her is a white woman. Is a white woman. Yeah, black. Keith Ellison is black. I don't know if y'all know that, but this black Muslim who is supposed to be pro-gay, who's supposed to be the first black Muslim in Congress, is dating a white woman. Oh, how quaint. I mean, the hypocrisy, for fuck's sake, folks. Can't y'all see it? The fucking hypocrisy. Now, once again, folks, okay, this woman who is alleging emotional and physical abuse is named Karen Monahan, a white woman. And not only is she alleging these allegations of emotional and physical abuse, but her son is also backing up these allegations. Now, according to her son claims that he saw Keith Ellison throw his mom on the bed after she refused to take out the trash, throw her on the bed, and got emotionally and physically rough with her. I'm sure there was a slap or two. I'm not too sure about that, but he said he threw her mother on the bed and said, "Look, woman, this is." Hold on, I gotta put the fucking effects on here.
Hey, look, woman, your motherfucking ass better go out and take out that fucking trash, all right? This is my motherfucking house, bitch. I'm Keith Ellison, motherfucker. I'm the deputy chairman of the motherfucking DNC. You better listen to what the fuck I say, woman, or my black ass gonna break off my boot and up that fat white ass of yours, you cracker-ass cracker.
Or something to that effect. And according to Karen Monahan's son, he saw the abuse. He saw it firsthand. Now, what I don't understand is, why is this guy still running for office when we've had people with less allegations than this be yanked from their jobs, yanked from their careers because of the, quote, Me Too movement? Huh? Where's the Me Too movement when it comes to the deputy chair of the DNC, Keith Ellison? Where's the Me Too movement for this? I mean, 2 people have come out and said that he was physically and emotionally abusive, and yet this guy's still running for the Attorney General in Minnesota, for Christ's sake. I mean, he should step down, first of all, from running for Attorney General in Minnesota, and he should step down as deputy chairman for the DNC. Where are all you sluts that usually talk me too, because you had buyer's remorse from some cock you let penetrate you? Where the hell are you at with Keith Ellison? Where are you Me Too cunts at now? Why? Where are you? Why aren't you saying anything about the deputy chairman of the DNC? Where are you, Me Too broads? Where are you? You see, Me Too only works, I guess, if you're of the right wing of the political persuasion, you know? Because if you're from the left, there's always justification for your rapes, right? If you're on the left. Oh, yeah, if you're a Democrat or if you're on the left, if you're a liberal, there's all kinds of justifications for your rapes and for your jokings of pedophilia and all this crap. It's all a joke. It's all a big fucking laugh, isn't it, huh? I'm telling you, folks, in 2018, if you're voting for Democrats, then you are pro-illegal immigrant, you are pro-criminal, and you are pro-sexualization of children. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The Democrats' actions prove everything that I just stated. They don't care about the law-abiding American citizen, even though they're trying to con you for your vote. The fucking Democrats of modern-day America could care less about you. They want illegal immigrants to overtake your population. Why? Because if there are so many illegal immigrants and it becomes a refugee situation, if the Democrats give them citizenship, they are Democratic voters for life. Do you understand? They are Democratic voters for life. That's what this is all about, folks. All right? That's why I keep telling you, if you are voting Democrat in 2018, then you're anti-American scum, and there's no other way to look at it. There is no other way to look at it. You're anti-American scum. You're pro-illegal immigrant, you're pro-criminal who thinks that criminals should have more rights than victims, and you are pro-sexualization of children. Do you understand me? Do you understand me, for Christ's sake? You are pro-sexualization of children. Don't deny it, Democrats. Don't deny it. If you're pro-LGBTQ, then you're pro-sexualization of children. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about the shit. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Anyway, let me move on. We got about 30 minutes left. Let's talk a little bit about some international news, shall we? Let me get some high-quality H2O that's just been sitting here. God damn, I wish that was an alcoholic beverage. God damn it! Anyway, let's talk a little bit about Turkey. We were going to talk about it earlier in the broadcast. We're going to talk about it now. Turkey has responded to the president's economic warfare with a measly boycott of U.S. electronics and tariffs for United States cars and alcohol. Oh, is that all you got? Is that all you got, Erdogan? I mean, you could tell that Erdogan, the head of state of Turkey, does not know what to do. He doesn't know what to do. I mean, all he could do is just sit there, piss and moan like an impotent jerk, call the president an economic terrorist, when in actuality, it was his authoritarianism, it was his economic irresponsibility that caused this economic crisis. The cherry on top was obviously the sanctions implemented by the president that exposed the true seriousness of the economic crisis in Turkey. I mean, they are partying in Turkey like it's 1929, and you know, Erdogan doesn't know what the fuck to do. Did you hear him today? He came out and said, look, don't worry, private enterprise will continue to be private, and the government isn't going to take over nothing. Go out and keep shopping. Do something. Help me. Yeah, I know you need help, Erdogan. It's real easy to be an authoritarian dictator and sending troops into Syria, sending troops in the Euphrates to kill the Kurds, sending troops into northern Iraq to kill the Kurds. It's real easy to do that, folks. All right? But how are you going to do that, Erdogan? How are you going to do that when you cannot even support your own country economically anymore? How are you going to get your men to fight whenever they write back home or email back home and they realize that their folks are out in the street? Their folks don't even have money to purchase food. The lira is crashed to dirt crap. It's worth less than toilet paper at this point. Do you think that your military is going to have the will to fight Erdogan? No, it doesn't. And unless you bow down to the United States, you dumb Turkish piece of roach crap, we're going to continue with these sanctions. And look, you're a little pissing. What are you doing? What did you do? You threw some electronic tariffs. Oh, excuse me. You threw a boycott. My apologies. Erdogan threw a boycott on United States electronics, and he's thrown a tariff on cars, U.S. cars, 120% tariff on cars, and 140% tariffs on U.S. alcohol. I mean, is that all you got? Is that all you fucking got, Erdogan? That isn't going to do nothing. We're brushing our shoulders off with that. As a matter of fact, you're hurting your own country by doing that. What are you going to? You're going to charge 140% tariff on alcohol? I think that Turkish people right now, especially now that they're partying like it's 1929, could use a fucking drink, to say the least. You know what I'm saying? And what is Erdogan going to do? He doesn't know what to do. So what does he do? He's going to call up Putin. He's running to Russia. But Russia itself is in economic dire straits, for Christ's sake, man. They don't even know what to do. You notice that I'm talking about Russia. Russia has not even reacted to the sanctions that we've thrown on them because they're scared shitless. You know, usually you hear really, really instantaneous reactions from Russia. They're real easy to threaten America. They're real easy to talk garbage to America. But as a result, folks, Russia doesn't want none of America. They haven't even responded or even retaliated to our sanctions. As a matter of fact, Russia is already scheduled a meeting with U.S. National Security Advisor to the President, John Bolton, next week. I mean, why do you think the Russians want to talk to the U.S. President's top security advisor, John Bolton, next week? Because they are going to try to work out lifting the sanctions on Russia, because Russia is in economic dire straits. They can't use these sanctions either. I mean, and not to mention, what is Russia going to do to the United States? It already kicked out all of United States business out of Russia. I mean, there's not that many U.S. assets within the country of Russia, so what exactly is Russia going to do? They're not going to do shit. And that's why the president implemented sanctions on them and has implemented sanctions on Turkey, both of which have been working together behind the backs of NATO, and behind the backs of other allies in the EU, which, I don't know, Merkel and all these other people in the EU thought that Turkey was an ally. They almost let him into the fucking EU. They already let him into NATO. But once again, folks, Turkey is finding itself in a very precarious situation now. Now, instead of Erdogan going out and wanting to, reunite all these geographic areas in the name of the Ottoman Empire and be some military, Islamic militant leader or something, now he's going to have to deal with the domestic economic problems in his home country. And if you want my opinion, I think if he doesn't capitulate and bow down to the United States, and how does he do that? He's going to have to give up that pastor, because the pastor, it's just a figurehead of defeat. See, that's what the president put on this pastor. It wasn't about the pastor. It was about Turkey getting buddy-buddy with Russia. It was about Turkey entering into Syria. It's about Turkey going out claiming it wants to reunify the Ottoman Empire. It's about Turkey potentially flanking a war between Saudi Arabia and Iran, which is our U.S. foreign policy at this point. We put a stop to all that. We put a stop to all that through these sanctions, and Turkey doesn't even know how to respond, man. I mean, goddamn, Erdogan doesn't know what to do. He's running to Russia, but what the hell is Russia going to do? I can't do anything. It's in economic dire straits itself. Hence why Russia is meeting with John Bolton next week, trying to rectify this. And look, even though Erdogan's trying to put on some hardcore stance in relation to the sanctions that the U.S. implemented on it, the foreign minister of Turkey came out today and said that they're willing to sit down with the United States, but just please stop the threats, okay? Please stop threatening us. Please stop the threats. Fuck you, all right, Turkey? We can threaten you anytime we want to. You understand? This is America! This is our fucking thing. We paid for all this internationalism. We paid for this globalism, and we're coming to collect. Do you understand me? America is coming to collect because all of our sweat equity, all of our goddamn money has built each and every one of these fucking countries that are out here trying to thumb their nose at us when we're trying to renegotiate these fucking trade deals. Each and every one of these countries. So if you knew what's good for you, Erdogan, you'd shut your stupid wannabe Islamic extremist mouth. And you send that little pastor back to the United States and tell the United States you're fucking sorry. If not, then burn! Then fucking burn, you Turk roach! You asked for this. Your actions asked for this. Remember that, Erdogan. Thinking your cock is all big, for Christ's sake. Sit there with your little wee-wee and shut the fuck up! Freaking Erdogan. Now, aside from Erdogan, we also threw sanctions on Iran. And guess what? Iran, their Ayatollah, their supreme leader, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, the last show we announced that he's blaming, the Ayatollah is blaming the economic woes of Iran on its secular government. And what did I say last show? I said that by the Ayatollah doing this, he is distancing himself from his government. He understands that the threat of government overthrow is just around the corner. He would not have admitted this if he didn't think so. Remember, these are really hardline Muslims here, okay? Especially the Ayatollah. I mean, he doesn't like to admit he's wrong. So last show, we talked about how he admitted that the Iranian economy and the reason it's so bad is a direct consequence of the Iranian government, which is unprecedented. Like I just said, it's like the Ayatollah is distancing himself from the government just in case there's a government overthrow. Now today, the Ayatollah, the supreme leader, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei admitted today, a mistake in allowing Iran's foreign minister to speak with the U.S. during the 2015 nuke deal. Oh, shit. I mean, that is unprecedented. This admission of failure is unprecedented, especially from the Ayatollah. And like I said, this is after the Ayatollah blames Iran's government for the country's economic woes. Now, in my opinion, by the Ayatollah publicly coming out and stating that it was a mistake for allowing the Iranian foreign minister to speak with the U.S. during the 2015 nuke deal, it says to me, you know, I'm a foreign policy, international relations guy, it says to me that that is a subtle signal to the United States that the Ayatollah wants to open up a diplomatic channel of communications directly with the United States. Not utilizing governments, not utilizing foreign ministers, nothing. I mean, to me, it seems that that was a slight, small capitulation by the Ayatollah, admitting that it was a mistake for allowing Iran's foreign minister to speak and negotiate with the U.S. during the 2015 nuke agreement. Because it was the 2015 nuke agreement that's put them in this very precarious situation. And if you want my personal opinion, I'm sure the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is starting to realize that that $260 billion that was given to Iran during that 2015 nuke deal, none of it went into his pocket. You know, I mean that's the way he's acting. He's acting like nothing is going into his pocket, so that's why he's throwing his own government under the bus. He's throwing his own foreign minister under the bus. It seems as if the Ayatollah is trying to save himself. And this says to me that the Ayatollah knows that the time of, or I should say the moment of truth is coming upon him. And unless he distances himself from the subjects that are fueling the revolutionary fervor in Iran, then he's going to be a victim of that revolution. And that's why he's trying to distance himself from everything the government has done at this point. Now, like I said, him admitting this mistake for allowing his foreign minister to negotiate the 2015 nuke deal, to me, is a signal. It is a subtle signal to the United States that the Ayatollah wants to open diplomatic channels with Khomeini himself. He doesn't want to use a foreign minister. He doesn't want to use anybody within his government to talk to the United States. It seems as if the Ayatollah wants to talk to the United States himself. That's what I gather. Because you remember, you got to subtly read the actions of your adversaries. And especially Iran. Iran doesn't like to admit it's wrong. I mean, it was Iran that made the decision to go into the Iran-Iraq war. The Iran-Iraq war in the early 80s. Now, if y'all aren't familiar with that war, unfortunately, the United States, armed, trained, and funded Saddam Hussein to go to war with the Iranians, because the Iranians, they took over the country, they took our Marines hostage, they did a lot of stuff that made us look like we had egg on our face. So as a result, the new foreign policy at that time was to pit Iraq against Iran, and Iran lost like 1 point something million people in the Iran-Iraq war. 1 point something billion, or million, not billion, million. Keep saying billion for some reason. The Iranians lost 1 point something million people in the Iran-Iraq war. Iraq, I think, lost about 400,000. And they didn't even admit that that was a mistake. The Iranians didn't even admit that sacrificing 1 point something million Iranians to this Iran-Iraq war was a mistake. So if they didn't admit that was a mistake, and haven't admitted any mistakes prior in their history, for the Ayatollah to come out and say that it was a mistake. He said it, quote, a mistake for allowing Iran's foreign minister to speak with the U.S. during the 2015 nuclear agreement. That says a lot to me, man. And I hope that this means that there's going to be a diplomatic channel open, and Iran gives us information on why and what Iran has over the EU and has over the Obama administration. Because as I've stated time and time again, this nuclear deal that was negotiated by Obama's administration for Iran seems to me like a payoff more than an actual deal. And I would like to know what they were being paid off for. $260 billion, $1.5 billion of it in cash, carried to them in hard currency in planes. I've never heard of such a thing, folks, especially when it comes to governments. I've never heard of such a thing. Jesus Christ, are we back? Are we back, for Christ's sake? My apologies on that, folks. I don't know how long I've been down here. My apologies. We just got connected. We just got reconnected here. I don't know what the hell happened. Testes, 1, 2. Testes, 1, 2, 3. All right, I think we're back here. My apologies. We had a little bit of an internet blip here, so I was like, what the hell's going on with the internet connection here? We had a little bit of a blip with the internet connection. My apologies. I hope we didn't lose too much. There. I was talking a little bit about Iran. I was talking about how the Iranian supreme leader, the Ayatollah al-Khamenei, admits a mistake allowing Iran's foreign minister to speak with the U.S. during the 2015 agreement, the nuclear agreement. And as I stated, this is unprecedented for the Ayatollah to admit failure. And like I said, this was after the Ayatollah blames Iran's government for the country's economic woes 2 days ago. So in my opinion, I believe that this is a signal to the United States by the Ayatollah that he wants to open diplomatic channels directly with the United States himself. And like I said, if the Ayatollah is going to go one-on-one with the president, then he needs to come clean on what he has over the EU and what he has over the Obama administration for them to pay him off the $260 billion during that Iranian nuke deal. 1.6 billion of it in cash. In cash. I mean, give me a freaking break. But we shall see. We shall see if this is a signal, because I have never seen the Ayatollah admit anything, especially a mistake. Anyway, let's move it on here. We're almost out of time. We got 10 minutes left. Let me talk a little bit about the world of Eurocuckery. Did you all hear in the UK? After a Sudanese-born migrant uses a vehicle as a terrorist weapon again. How many times do we have to see this? All right, once again, in the UK, a Sudanese-born migrant uses a vehicle as a terrorist weapon again. Guess who came out and tried to, I don't know, air out a remedy that he thought in his stupid Muslim-loving head? Huh? I'm talking about none other than the mayor of London, Sadiq Khan. Did you all hear this? That Sadiq Khan, the mayor of London, now wants to ban, quote, some vehicles after this Sudanese-born migrant utilizes a vehicle as a terrorist weapon. Yep, that's it. That's the solution, isn't it, huh? Ban more shit. Lest we forget, the UK has already banned guns, okay? They've already banned certain types of knives. Now they're going to ban certain types of vehicles because some fucking Sudanese-born migrant utilized the vehicle as a terrorist weapon? I mean, what the fuck sense does that make? How about stopping your migrant crisis? How about stopping these people from coming into your country? How about enforcing your fucking laws, UK, you fucking cuckold connoisseurs, for Christ's sake? I mean, doesn't this underscore that the UK is completely gone at this point? All right? I mean, they're gone. They're gone. The remedy... I'm sorry for laughing, man, but the remedy for these goddamn terrorists, these foreign-born terrorists that the UK is bringing into their country, the remedy to stop these foreign-born terrorists from using vehicles as terrorist weapons is to ban some fucking vehicles, man? Come on! Jesus Christ! Come on! First guns, then certain types of knives, now certain types of vehicles. What's next, folks? What's next? What's next in the minds of the Eurocucks, for Christ's sake? Jesus Christ. What's next in the fucking minds of these Eurocucks? You know what? You know what you Eurocucks deserve? Here, eat my snot, you fag. Look, here, eat that. There, eat that. Can't believe it, for Christ's sake. Banning some vehicles. Sadiq Khan, the Muslim terrorist lover himself. Did you all know that before Sadiq Khan became the mayor of London, Stan, that this son of a bitch helped protect terrorists that committed terrorism in Europe? He was a fucking lawyer that defended these people, and we're surprised? I mean, Sadiq Khan, the lawyer of London, Stan, this is the same guy that says that terrorism is, quote, part and parcel with living in the big city. And we're surprised by this liberal lunacy? I mean, I am not surprised. I am absolutely not surprised. Anyway, look, I'm going to take a couple of callers here. We got a few minutes. Anybody that want to talk about anything, you know the number. I don't know. Do you have the number? Do I have to say it again? I probably have to say it again, for Christ's sake. Hold on, let me go ahead and give you all the number. Let me give you all a little bit to get a pad and paper. We're going to take some calls here. Whatever you want to discuss, some subject matter that I didn't pick up or you want to elaborate on, you got an opinion on, give me a call right now at 605-472-5691. Okay? And then once the operator starts talking and ask for an access code, you put in the following, okay? 464089. The access code again is 464089. And once you do that, you should be connected to the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, and we're going to be taking a couple of calls here for the last 5 to 10 minutes of the broadcast here. And I want to hear what you have to say. You know, I mean, especially if you don't agree with me. I'd love to have some fucking leftist that thinks he has some kind of substance. Give me a call and try to justify what the hell it is that is your political dogma, huh? And by the way, let me go ahead and take a sip of this water. God damn it, I wish that was beer! I wish it was fucking beer, for Christ's sake, man! I wish it was goddamn beer. Anyway, before we get to some calls here, I do want to remind everybody here that we are going to accept Inner Circle members here until Baller Friday for 35 Quantum. And like I said in the beginning of the broadcast, the reason I'm doing this is to prove to you how much I believe in this cryptocurrency. 35 Quantum. Now, yesterday, that was more than half off than what traditional people who've entered the Inner Circle have paid in U.S. dollars. And the reason I'm saying that, hey, 35 Quantum gets you into the Inner Circle, it just proves that how much I believe in this coin. How much I believe in this coin and how much I believe that it's just going to continue to go up. It is the future of cryptocurrency. Once again, its smart contract technology is way better than Ethereum's. It's got very, very low transaction fees, very, very fast transaction speeds. The core wallet, you're able to hold not just Quantum in there, but QRC20 tokens and even Bitcoin, etc. So there's just flexibility all around. It's got a mobile wallet for Quantum, a lot of stuff. I like it. It is the coin of the future, and that's why I'm saying I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is, all right? I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I'm willing to take 35 Quantum until Friday, until Baller Friday, okay? That's about it. 35 Quantum to enter the inner circle, because I know that Quantum is going to be the coin of the future. And like I said, aside from waiting for the value of Quantum to rise, QTUM, I'm also just taking that proof of stake payment, baby. Just taking that proof of stake payment. So I hope this proves to you all that I am down with QTUM, all right? Now, once again, if you want to join the inner circle, all you've got to do is go to the cryptocurrency wishing well. Go to the cryptocurrency wishing well and send 35 Quantum to the Quantum address. All right? And once you do, private message me on Gab and say, hey, look, it was me on this transaction. I just sent you 35 Quantum. I want into the inner circle. I cannot pass this deal up. I can't pass this deal up, baby. All right? And I am just going to accept it until Baller Friday, and that's it. I want to say, for the 3 people that have just entered, cheers to you guys. You got in at a hell of a deal, and by the way, we are so motivated in the inner circle, it's time to go full throttle. And like I said, if you all have not gotten on the cryptocurrency wave during the times of April, May of 2017, now is your time. Now is your time to acquire, purchase, however you acquire cryptocurrency. Get it and hoard it. All right? You will be thanking me in the next year or two, I guarantee it. Buy it, obtain it, hoard it. All right? Anyway, we've got a couple of callers here. Once again, if you want to know how to call me, just right now, 605-472-5691. And once the operator starts calling, or starts talking, I should say, type in the access code 464089, and then push the pound key, and you'll get right to me. Right to me here. Let's go ahead and go to somebody who's been waiting here for a good long amount of time. How about 936? What's up? You're on the horn. Hey, oh, wait, hold on a second. Go again. I'm sorry, I didn't have you on the air. 936, you're on the horn.
Yes, sir. Ghost, I'm just listening in. Thanks for picking up the call. And great show tonight.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. No problem.
All right, man. Well, hey, I appreciate you for listening. Appreciate you for kicking back with us. Cheers to you, man. How about 856? You're on the horn on True Capitalist Radio.
Good evening, Ghost. This is Trumpin. How are you?
Hey, what's going on, Trumpin? How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. I want to talk a little bit more about the homosexual community and its link to pedophilia, as well as other links to pedophilia as well.
All right, go ahead, man.
Unfortunately, there was an incident. I'm in the southern New Jersey area. So there was an unfortunate incident at a Jewish community center in the local area in which a minor who was 15 years old, and I found out that he is homosexual, was fondling kids at an early childhood camp this summer. There were 4 allegations, actually. There were 4 allegations, and he was moved to the kitchen, and once these were reported, he was then fired.
Good God. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me here?
I'm sorry? That is not a joke. I will send you the link in the chat room really quickly.
All right, man. There's the link right there. I mean, a camp counselor in a Jewish community center, and it took him moving him to the kitchen and then him continuing to fondle to him to get fired?
That is correct.
Oh, my God, man. I mean, when is it going to end?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, when the hell is all this damn child porn and molestation bullshit, when is it all going to end, man?
I mean, that's a very good question. But my question to you is, what provokes these people to go after young children as young as 18 months at this camp? And this kid was a 15-year-old minor who was fondling kids. But my question to you is, why did these minors think that it's funny and edgy to molest and fondle children? That's my question.
Well, thank you very much for your question there, Trumpin. And I want to be honest with you, I don't know. I have no idea, but I'm going to be completely honest. In my experiences with people that for whatever reason like this show and also like waxing their carrots to cartoon pornography and all, anybody I've found, anyone who finds some kind of sexual gratification to cartoon porn, I have noticed a direct correlation with them wanting to have sexual relations with children. Now, they try to deny it because I don't know if you guys know this. You people that are listening, there are cartoons in which they are sexualizing cartoon children that are 9, 10 years old, but in the story, she's actually a 900-year-old fifth grader, but just happens to look like a little kid. I mean, these weird nuances to justify this pedophile cartoon pornography, this is what's abundant in these people that fetish and sexualize cartoons. And I've always said that anyone who's anyone who's over the age of 18 that sexualizes cartoons or that's obsessed with cartoons and that goes to the cons and just is a complete fangirl about cartoons, you need to watch them. And they should be prime suspects if there's any child molestations within a mile radius of these people. And to be completely honest with you, I don't know what's going on in the heads of these young kids. These young kids, and look, these bronies that we just kicked out of here, they're all like 30-year-old virgins. You know, the Brony Network was like a 30-year-old virgin that didn't even know whether or not he was a homosexual or he liked women. He didn't know. And yet he wasted 7 years of his life, going on 8 years, playing with My Little Pony dolls. And, using My Little Pony plushies and commiserating with fucking My Little Pony sexual fetish autistic cloppers and things of that capacity, folks. I mean, I can't explain this. I can't. I mean, I wish I could. There is no rationale. And I think that what we should do is we need to stop this emphasis of allowing adults to think it's okay to like children cartoons. I just don't think it's right. I mean, if somebody over the age of 18 is obsessing with a children's cartoon, isn't that a gateway into sexualizing the children? And if it's a gateway to sexualize the children, isn't it a gateway to sexualize the children by sexualizing the cartoons? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm just simply stating, folks, we have to realize that there's a major problem. There's a major problem amongst our young people in which they are sexualizing children. And this is why the LGBTQ thinks it's an easy transition from gaining protective status in the United States by being able to blow anybody in the streets because you have a gay pride parade to sexualizing their children, man. And you know something, folks? I think people need to realize that children are preyed on more than you think. There are 800,000 kids that go missing every year. Just missing. Just missing. I mean, they're away. They're gone. No, we don't know what happened to them. And that's just an expected statistic. That's it. 800,000 kids go missing every year. And that's why, folks, me as a capitalist, I want to protect children. I want to protect the innocence of children and have them live as a child as long as they can until they have to face reality. And when do they usually have to face reality? When they get into middle school, high school. When puberty hits. When things and hormones and biology starts changing within a child. That's when you lose your innocence and you figure out who you are as a human being. Then you can figure out whether or not you like to take meat in the can. Then you can figure out whether or not you like to fucking play the flesh flute. Then you can figure out whether or not you're some fucking lesbo that wants to dive on a muff. Then you can figure all this shit out. But I'm telling you, when we hear young people that are under the age of 15 or 16 claiming to be homosexual, the first thing that comes to my mind is who molested you? Who molested you? Anyway, let's take one more call here. How about area code 321? You're on the horn, 321.
I hate fucking niggers. They still hood you.
Okay, great. 321-536-8524. That's this guy's number, so go ahead and give him a call. All right. I guess that's about it. All right. I guess that's about it. So, anyway, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me, okay? And as a matter of fact, did you see and hear the feminine vernacular in that fucking kid's voice? Do you think that he would say the word nigger in a goddamn black neighborhood? No, he's behind the goddamn computer like an autistic basket case. And I'm telling you, I mean, people like this, we need to make bullying great again. Ever since we took out bullying and we've allowed these autists to tell the teacher and get people in trouble and shit, that's when we have, lost track of society. I'm not kidding. I guarantee you that had some of these people that are bronies and are anime fetish idiots, if they had taken a nice beating, it would have beaten the goddamn bejesus of this cartoon fetish right out of him. It would have beaten the crap right out of him. So I'm not joking. If you know somebody who is a cartoon fetish male, and they're 18 years of age or older, then fucking kick the shit out of these pieces of garbage. I'm not even kidding, man. They deserve it. Give them a fucking slap. Kick them in the balls. I'm not even joking. These people are wastes of life. All right? If they like anime or My Little Pony, or if they fucking obsessed of any kind of cartoons, kick the shit out of them. All right? We don't need people that are over the age of 18 obsessed over cartoons. That is a gateway, a fucking gateway right into pedophilia. So let's make bullying great again. Target these idiots that are out here that are sexualizing cartoons, that are obsessed with cartoons. I'm not kidding. Beat the shit out of them. Give them a slap. Kick them in the balls. Put a boot in their ass. All right? We need to make bullying great again. All right? I'm not kidding. I'm tired of these pussy whipped little autists that think that they can just walk around acting like nothing's going to happen to them. Nothing. Bullshit. As a matter of fact, I encourage people to slap an autist in the fucking face while you're at it. All right? I'm not even kidding. All right? Slap a fucking autistic idiot right in the fucking mouth if you see him. All right? When they're out here acting a fool, when they're out here obsessing over video games and cartoons, to fucking slap them in their fucking autistic mouths. Give them a reason to be retarded. Give them a reason to fucking cry. Give them something they'll never fucking forget, these stupid, dumb, waste of life autists. If you want my opinion, 90% of autists should be put to sleep. If not more than that. They are a dread on their folks. They're a dread on society. And to be honest with you, I don't think there's a reason to continue on and, play little kid gloves with these autists. And I'm glad. I want to be honest with you, and I'm very candid here. This is my opinion. I am glad people are starting to view my view on autistic children and autistic people. They're nothing more than idiots that have been given a psychological card to take no responsibility for their action. That's why they all think they can get away with pedophilia, because all they have to do is say, I'm retarded. I'm retarded. I'm retarded. I didn't do it. I'm retarded. I'm retarded.
Goodbye.
I'm retarded. Yeah, goodbye to you as well. I'm retarded. Jesus Christ. I'm not even kidding, man. I'm not even joking. I don't like autists, man. I don't like autistic people. I think they're a waste of life. I think that they're a burden on society. I think that they're a burden on their fucking family. I'm tired of them, man. I'm sick of them. I mean, y'all heard that one autist that I called, what was it, an episode, was it 561 or something, 562? Y'all heard that autist. That was a 28-year-old black man. Y'all heard that stupid autist, for Christ's sake. And to think that some stupid imbecile is condoning and promoting and supporting this waste of life. I mean, that's enough. I'm tired. I mean, what, you're just supposed to take care of an autist until they're, 80 years old or something? I mean, we got a 28-year-old black autist who went on the air and claimed that I was setting up school shootings in the TCR chat room. I mean, that's how fucking ridiculous and dumb and pathetic these autists are. And I'm sick of them, man. They should be put to sleep. I'm tired of them. And I'm sure people that deal with autists are tired of them as well. So once again, I mean, give an autist a slap, all right? I fucking hate these fucking autists. I'm not joking. I don't like them. I don't care. It's my right not to like a bunch of fucking people if I don't want them. If I don't like them. All right? If I don't like autists, I have the right not to like autists, okay? I'm not going to be ashamed of not liking a group of people that nobody likes. I'm not going to be ashamed about it, okay? I mean, you understand, you autists, nobody likes you people. People put up with you. Your mom, your dad, your teachers, your psychologists, they all put up with you. You are a burden. You are a burden on society. I'm not joking, man. I mean, why don't you look in the mirror and realize this? I'm retarded. That's why. So anyway, I'm getting the hell out of here, okay? Look, I'm sorry for, going off on that tirade about autists, but I'm trying to make it as explicit as I can. I'm trying to make it as explicit as I can that you autists are not wanted here. You are not wanted. You are not liked. You are hated. And same with you cartoon fetish idiots. You're not wanted here. Nobody wants you to listen to my broadcast. You're a fucking waste of life. And as far as I'm concerned, I pray that social Darwinism takes care of you and eliminates you off of the burden of society. Or eliminates you as a burden of society. Excuse me, all right? Anyway, I got to get the hell out of here. All right, we're already 15 minutes into the fucking 4th hour here. I'm out of here. It is Wednesday. Once again, this is episode 605. This is August 15th, all right, 2018. And before I move on to anything else, I'd like to remind everybody to please spread this show link around like wildfire and let everybody let them know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house, and we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, and it is ghost.report. Ghost.report is the official website, and like I said, if you're listening to me, you are listening to the underground of politics on the internet. There is no doubt about that, baby. I was being banned before anyone was even thinking about banning. You want to know why? Because I'm dangerous. At least that's what they said I was. I don't see why I'm dangerous. I'm just talking. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Either way, folks, I hope that you're here with me this Friday. All right, we have a Baller Friday edition, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I also want to remind everybody, I'm going to be in the True Capitalist Radio chat room here in about 20 minutes. So if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, all you've got to do is go right now to my Gab account, all right? Look at my Gab! Check out my Gab! All right, look at my Gab account. And you see where it says subscribe to premium content? Go ahead and click that subscribe button for premium content, and once you do, go ahead and private message me your Discord chat name, and I will give you a invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. It's that damn simple. And moreover, I also want to say that we are going to have a membership for 35 Quantum into the Inner Circle. And it's only until this Baller Friday. That's it. After that, we're not taking any more, especially at 35 Quantum, for Christ's sake, okay? I want to welcome the 3 members that have come in. I'm telling you, you came in at a steal. And anybody else who's interested, we don't want any cartoon fetish assholes. We don't want anybody who's an enemy or a brony or any of that shit. We want capitalists. And like I said, we want people that are going to want to make themselves better. Whatever they are, whatever they enter into the inner circle, however they are, we want them to be a hell of a lot better next year. And then a hell of a lot better the year after that. That's the only way. That's the only way that we're going to accept inner circle members at this time, man. We're not going to allow people to just sit around and be bronies for 2 fucking years. We're not doing that shit. All right? We're not letting idiots just hang around and, get drunk in the inner circle chat and, call everybody a nigger and then, that's the inner circle. Now, bullshit. We want people that are capitalists. We want people that want to be successful. We want people that are going to be impactful in not only America, but throughout the world. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. We want you to make an impact. This is our fucking thing. You understand? And let me tell you something right now. We are a think tank. We are a investment group. And here within the next year or two, most of us are going to be, at least in the 500,000 range or more. And once that happens, folks, we are going to consolidate our wealth so that we can be an economic force on the globe. And what do I mean by that? I'm talking about using the inner circle to branch off businesses and investments and buying real estate, not just in the United States, but all over the world. But it takes a serious group. It takes serious people. And people need to take themselves serious if they're going to take any group serious. And if you don't take your fucking self serious, well, then what makes you think that we're going to take you serious? If you don't even respect yourself, what makes you think that we are going to respect you? And that's what I'm telling each and every one of you, man. No fucking excuses. All right? No fucking dumbass bronies, no enemies, no fucking trolls either. Sick and tired of these idiot trolls, for Christ's sake. And trolling used to mean something back in the old days. Now, it's one idiot playing the same sound clip on a consistent basis and going, fucking autist waste of life. Anyway, I'm getting the hell out of here. I'll be back Friday. You better be here. And hey, by the way, check out ghost.market for some merch, all right? If you want any kind of apparel for the True Capitalist Radio broadcast or ghost.report apparel, check it out. All right, right now, type it in your browser, ghost.market. Anyway, I'm getting the hell out of here. I will be in the True Capitalist Radio chat room in about 20 minutes, and I'm getting the hell out of here. You better be here with me Friday, all right? Baller Friday. If not, then you're a piece of crap. Anyway, I am out of here. Long live the capitalist army, and death to feminism, death to socialism, and death to communism. You're goddamn right, baby. You better be here for Baller Friday. I'm out of here. Woo!